Visit nickdalba.com to schedule a consultation so we can discuss why now is the best time to sell your home with Nicholas Dalba Real Estate.
It's the Chris and Amy Show. Check it out.
St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
Now, Amy Marks scores Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Let's take it from the top.
Well, Amy, you look a whole lot different today.
Well, I lost my hair.
It's John Hancock and Chris Ranji today. Amy Marks Kors will be back tomorrow, and it's good to have you with us for the morning and into the afternoon. 314-436-7900. You know what that is? That's a phone number you call and text.
Wow.
Voicemails, we welcome those too. 314-944-1120. I know we give you a lot of information right off the top. Just write it all down. Put it in your phone. You've got the Notes app. Just type it all in. It's fine. At Chris Amy KMOX, if you want to follow us on social media, we welcome you to download the free Odyssey app where you can take the station with you wherever you go. You can listen to us live. You can listen to the podcasts later. If you're in the listening area, you can catch Cardinals baseball live. The broadcasts are on the free Odyssey app.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everybody will be talking about.
New CBS polling about the attitudes toward Donald Trump and the trial are out. Has anything changed since the verdict last week? We will discuss that on the show today.
Yeah, we will. And the son of the president, Hunter Biden, is going to trial on his unlawful possession of a firearm charge. Jury selection begins today.
And a successful sports weekend, a busy sports weekend, shall we say. Cardinals win yesterday against the Phillies. They continue to play good baseball. Battlehawks have clinched home field. City SC draws with Miami and Lionel Messi. And the Enjoy Illinois 300 is a rousing success.
That's a lot.
That is a lot that was happening yesterday,
Yeah,
man. What going on?
Very busy out there.
So you're seeing the sports things happen. You're seeing the Cardinals. But look, they've dropped 2 of 3, but
Phillies are a good
Phillies
team.
are a very good team.
They're maybe the best team in baseball.
Very arguably so.
Yeah.
They are. They're really good. So, I didn't know what to expect going in. I mean, anything can really happen in a series. So, overall, though, they're still hitting. They're still playing pretty well. The Cardinals are. So,
Man, that defense last night, though. Oof,
yeah.
rough.
That's the one thing they have done poorly over about the last 2.5 weeks or so. And that is play defense.
Yeah.
And I mean, this has sort of been a problem all year. It's just that they've done a lot of things very well in the last 2.5 weeks or so, but defense is not one of them.
Yeah, 13-5 over the last 18. The Cardinals one game under 500, which is a month ago. If you'd have told me that, I'd have been very happy.
Yeah, it's amazing where they are. So I'm happy to see it. John, I mentioned right off the top that there is, and I don't think any of this really is a surprise to me necessarily, but I want to get your take on it.
All right.
CBS News did their polling, and this is polling done May 30th through June 1st, so about a 3-day period. After the Donald Trump hush money trial was figured out, and the verdict came back, and he's guilty on 34 counts. It appears as though it really hasn't moved the needle all that much with people in terms of their perception of him, the perception of the trial itself. 56% believe that he received a fair trial. That's 56% of the country. 44% think it was unfair. If you're a Democrat, 96% believe that it was a fair trial.
Well, there you go.
Independents believe on a 54-46 margin that it was a fair trial. And obviously Republicans at an 86% clip believe that it was unfair. So it really hasn't moved the needle all that much in terms of how people view what happened over the last several weeks and what the verdict was when it came out yesterday. Do you think it matters, though, when it gets down to voting time? Now, there's still a lot of time that happens between now and November. I mean, we're talking, 5 months here. So it is, a lot of things can transpire. But if the election were to happen tomorrow, do you think it moved the needle enough for people who are actually going to go out and vote?
Certainly hasn't yet. And I wonder, how can you not have formed an opinion of Joe Biden and Donald Trump at this point? And so you think about them however you think about them, and then you have this trial. I don't think anybody woke up last week and said, "Oh my, I love Donald Trump, but man, he's guilty. I guess I can't vote for." Just don't see that happening. But what I do think is out there is a whole swath of people who just don't pay attention to politics until it gets much closer to the election. So they're busy, watching 3-3 soccer games out there. They're trying to see what's going on. They're not paying much attention to politics. And, for those people, that's going to be interesting. And in the polling that I'm going to find interesting is the independent vote and what happens with them. Because if there's any erosion, that's where it's going to happen. And we've not seen it yet.
Yeah. As I mentioned, 56% of independents believe it was the right verdict. 44% believe it was not. Obviously, overwhelmingly, Democrats think it was fine. Republicans overwhelmingly think that it was not. And I think that is it's interesting what we're talking about now, because so many things do have to happen and will happen between now and November. And it is a different political environment now than it was 15, 20 years ago. I know that you can speak to that personally, and you can speak to it passionately. In your experience, though, and I guess taking into account how different things are now, in your experience, when does the general public really start to pay attention to the election cycle?
There's a good 15% of the public who will vote ultimately, who really won't pay attention until the last 3 or 4 weeks. So that's a voter block you're going to be interested in. The other thing that's fascinating to me about the polling data, because you're talking about a presidential election, it's 6 states that matter, and they're all close. All the polling is close to Trump's leading in most of the polling that I've seen in those battleground states. But you've got the independent vote, which appears to be breaking for Joe Biden, and that's probably going to continue, throughout the election. But then you've got the African American and Hispanic votes, where Trump, at least in the polling, is getting historically high numbers for a Republican. He got 9% of the black vote in 2020, and he's getting 18-20% of the black vote in the polling I'm seeing in the battleground states. That could matter.
So you have heard over and over again over the last 10 or so years, especially after 2016, that polling is the process is outdated. The polling is wrong. President Trump winning in 2016 proved that the polling didn't know what it was doing. But if you go back and look at all of that, it was all within the margin of error.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
So, but people saw the numbers that Hillary Clinton had a such and such percentage chance of winning, and they thought, well, she didn't win, so these polls are wrong.
Right.
So explain that to people, that even though it looks like the polling leading up to an election is off, that it's really not when you consider margin of error.
Yeah, and it's generally pretty accurate. And pollsters have really adapted in this era that we live in. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where you could use landline phone calls and get a representative survey. Well, that's not been the case now for a while. So it's really kind of a mix between cell phones, online, what we call text to web surveys, where somebody gets a text message, they're asked to participate in a survey, and then they go do it on their phone. And so pollsters have adopted all of these different models, and the numbers have generally been pretty accurate. Now, anytime you're polling the public, there's a 5% chance that your numbers are completely bogus. That's called the statistical significance. And that level's at about 95%. So that means there's a 5% chance it's just completely bogus.
Well, let me ask you this question. Because people are, and rightfully should be, concerned about phishing attempts, spam attempts on their emails, or when you get a text message, you don't recognize the number and it says, hey, this is so-and-so with this campaign or whatever, and you're nervous to click the link. Do you have a general idea? And this is just a technical question. How do you account for that? People who are like, well, I'm not answering that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to click on that because I don't want my phone to get to get hacked.
So without getting too deep into the weeds, so polling has what is called an incidence rate. And how many touches do you have to make to get somebody to take the survey? And one thing that's happened, whether it's on the cell phone or the text to web, is that the incidence rates have gone way up. It used to be 1 out of 14 would take the survey. Now it's like 1 out of 25, 30 will take the survey. And so then it just becomes a volume issue. And then and on the back end of the survey, you're going to take the demographics that you get from the sample that you get, and you're going to weight those, WEIGHT, weight those according to the population that's you're surveying. If it's a state, if it's a county, if it's a congressional district, you'll weight the raw results you get to reflect the demographics of the district, and then you get the numbers, and they're generally pretty close.
That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. The number is 314-436-7900. We started by talking about the perception of the trial that just took place last week and came to its conclusion. And there are 34 felony counts, and former President Trump was found guilty on all of those. Did it move a needle for you, though? Did it change anything for you? You're welcome to let us know. You've got the phone number. You also have the number to leave a voicemail. 314-944-1120. John Hancock, Chris Ranji on KMOX.
If you have a problem with the IRS, believe me, it's not going away on its own. The IRS never gives up. They have endless resources, so they control the game. Well, your tax problems can end. I'm attorney Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm, a local tax resolution firm with an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. I've handled thousands of IRS cases over the last 15 years. So when you hire me, you won't be speaking long distance or sending money to some TV pitchman that's riddled with consumer complaints. Your first visit is completely free and confidential, and I'll tell you on the spot exactly how much it will cost. So call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go to Lance, DRURY law.com. If you have IRS issues, you need a local attorney, you need me, Lance Drury.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You'd just ask, should I sell while my home's value is sky high, or wait and hope the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball. With Truehold's Sell and Stay program, you can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get an offer now while your home's value is sky high, and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's current best value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Truehold.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the GelmanTeam.com. If you want immediate cash for your home or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. That's my friends Mark and Neil Gelman at the GelmanTeam.com.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien High Efficiency Tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
At KMOX, our focus is you, your go-to station for local news that matters to St. Louis and the region. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's a Chris and Amy show on KMOX, but John Hancock is in this morning for Amy. She was in Kansas City over the weekend.
She's running the hot dog marathon.
Who the hell knows? They got a big event that happens every year called Big Slick.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of promotion for it before it happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was. I had never heard of it.
The
but
Big
it's
Slick.
it's just a lot of Kansas City celebrities
Wow.
coming into
Hey,
town.
you got all kinds of Kansas City celebrities.
Jason Sudeikis. So it started with him and Rob Riggle.
Rob
who
Riggle,
is
who-
an actor. Used to be
Never heard of
on
him.
Daily Show.
Oh, all right. Rob
So
Riggle.
yeah, they started this whole thing. It's raising money for charity. Bunch of events that happen over the course of the weekend. So it's kind of a cool event, honestly.
We ought
I
to
feel
do
like we
that
should-
here.
I agree with you.
We could have
We
all
could
of St. Louis celebrities out
John
there.
Hamm.
Yeah.
So we'd have to have John Hamm.
Yeah.
Nelly.
Nelly's here, isn't he? Does Nelly still live here?
I don't know.
Oh.
John Goodman.
Yeah, good guy.
We'd have to have Sterling K. Brown.
Right. Back in the day, you got the guy that was the in that show. You know, the guy that what do you call him? They went back in time. What's his name?
Scott Bakula.
Yes, he's a St. Louis
Quantum
guy.
Leap.
Yeah.
I
Then
love
you got
Quantum
the other
Leap.
guy, the guy that was in all those movies. What was his name?
The other guy.
The guy that's in all the movies. I think it was it Kevin Kline?
Kevin Kline.
Yes, another
yes.
St. Louisan. Look at me. Over
Yeah, he's
here.
in the one of my
incredible. What I'm
it's a
pulling out of the archives. over
guilty
here.
pleasure movie I love.
Yeah.
Is called Dave.
Dave.
You ever seen the movie Dave?
Maybe.
Okay, that's where Kevin Kline, just plays a regular guy. He looks exactly like the president. The president has a stroke.
I have seen this movie.
And they install him and they make
Yes.
him pretend to be the president.
Yes, great movie.
Yeah.
Great
And he balances the budget. He balances the budget in the middle of the movie and everybody applauds.
Nice. Kevin Kline.
Yeah, Kevin Kline. So you can have those folks, Metro
Yeah.
Boomin. You can have all these people come back. Let's have a weekend of events. And they can invite their celebrity friends to come and be a part of
Loving
it.
Well, we can get old Bob Costas could come back.
Yeah,
He's
Bob
kind of a
Costas
celebrity.
could be here.
Yeah.
We should do something like
I'm
that.
in. Let's do it.
How was your weekend?
Well, Ranj,
I heard you had a mishap.
Yeah. So we had Tula, my 2-year-old granddaughter, for the weekend.
Adorable.
Mom and Dad, her parents went out of town for their anniversary. So we had the baby. Took her to the butterfly house. Lovely out there, Faust Park. Butterflies flittering all around. Really nice. And we walked through the little pathways there, and Tula was having a great time. She wanted to go to the playground. Great. All kinds of kids running everywhere on the playground. And so she comes up to the jungle gym, and she starts walking up the stairs. And I didn't take the time to kind of assess what the jungle gym was all about. So she's walking up the stairs, and I said, Papa will come. So We get up the stairs. We're on the landing, and she makes a right-hand turn. There is a little archway there that is about maybe 1.5 feet wide, and it's maybe 4.5 feet tall. She goes right under. I squeeze. I bend over and I'm squeezing I get through the archway. That was tough. And there's a second one. I'm trying to get out. Papa made it. And then just beyond the second archway is a monkey bridge, Ron.
Dude.
One of these bridges that swings back and forth, I look at this thing and I say, this ain't happening. And Tula's pointing at the monkey bridge, and I said, Tula, Papa can't, no, we can't do this. She starts crying. And the kids are running all over the place, and a little crying 2-year-old. I pick her up, and now she's screaming. And now I've got to go back through these 2 archways holding a baby. And so I've got her in my arm, and I push her through the archway, and then I somehow get my gut through not one, but 2 of these suckers. And I finally make it to the landing, and I think, praise the Lord, I made it through this thing. And a guy sitting on a bench right below the thing looks up and he says, "Aren't you John Hancock?" To which I replied, "Yeah, I get that all the time." Oh, it was rough. It was rough out there, but we made it. Everybody lived.
I thought for sure you were going to say you got stuck.
Well, it almost happened, but you can suck it in sometimes, but man, I should have. All this is to say, folks, before you embark on an adventure, you ought to do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do the homework on the jungle gym there, and it almost cost me.
See, I think you are a better grandparent than I could ever possibly be.
Yeah.
Because I would just have been like, yeah, we're not doing any of that. You go right ahead. I'm not going in there with you. Have a nice time.
Little thing, she looked at me and she got on the first stair, and I said, "Oh, Papa will come too." And then the rest was what it was.
Well, John,
yes,
the Missouri Botanical Garden, the butterfly house, folks, they brought some cicadas for us to eat last week.
Oh, that's right.
The chef prepared them.
How disgusting is that?
They were quite good.
Were they?
Matt Pajeski had one.
Surprisingly few cicadas at the butterfly house.
Really?
Over the weekend. Yeah. Didn't see very many.
Well, I don't know. Okay.
But you ate them, right? And
I had like 4 of them.
And?
They were fine.
Talk about the aftermath.
Oh, they were pretty good. Yeah, you know what?
Oh, the aftermath.
Okay, so the next day.
Yeah.
Not.
You were
the
talking
morning
about
was
Gus
not great.
earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. Similar to Gus.
Oh. That's like going out and having 8 White Castles.
You know what? It kind of was.
Yeah.
And which is crazy because we tweeted out the photo of the cicadas at Chris Amy KMOX.
Yeah, right.
And somebody commented, "Did you have the cicada toots the next day?" And I thought, oh, that's interesting you say that.
Wow.
Because I kind of did.
So it's a thing.
It's a thing. I guess.
This is why we're not meant to eat bugs, Ron.
No, I think we are meant to eat them.
No.
We're just not used to it.
No. If God wanted us to eat bugs, there'd be bug farmers out there. I mean, you're raising cattle and you're raising pigs and chickens and stuff, but nobody's out there raising a bunch of bugs to go eat. No,
they don't have to. There are billions of them.
There's too many bugs.
Did you hear the number about the ants? It's something like for every person on Earth, there are 10 trillion ants.
Wow. That's a lot of ants.
That's a lot of ants.
There are all kinds of different ants.
Well, that's what the bug guy told us. We're going to talk to Senator Tracy McCreary.
Oh, can't wait for that.
She is trying to get a cyber stalking law passed and signed by the governor here in Missouri. We're going to talk to her. She's in studio. She'll tell us about this cyber stalking task force next on KMOX.
Awesome.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Hey, it's Bo for Reinhold Electric. I'm going to give you their number to put in your contacts in your phone so you have them when an emergency breaks out. Storms that hit South County on a Sunday this past month, Reinhold Electric took over 50 calls and were able to respond within 24 hours to all of them. So if you have down power lines, flickering lights, things like that, call on Reinhold Electric. And for all planned electrical needs, contact Reinhold Electric. The number 314-631-1158 and ReinholdElectric.com.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world. And sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
At 10:30, sun and 80 downtown at the Arch. Just as more Americans are traveling again, comes word you may be soon paying more to fly. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Airline tickets could go up for several reasons. Worldwide inflation, jet fuel costs, and adding to the problem, aircraft production is still off. And carriers are now flying more older planes, which burn more fuel. At a meeting of the International Air Transport Association, the group's director said it's unrealistic to think airlines can absorb the costs, though airline revenue worldwide is at a record high.
New plan for the Optimist International headquarters in the Central West End. Versa Development wants to build a 7-story hotel called the International. It would incorporate the main Optimist building built in 1961, a mid-century modern building that preservationists have fought to keep standing. That scuttled several past development plans. According to the Business Journal, the design by HOK would not only keep but emphasize the pavilion building's mid-century modern bones with a tower that nods to that period. The water boil advisory in Atlanta is still in effect. The mayor says crews are still working to restore power to parts of the city after 2 water main breaks, and he's declared a state of emergency.
My administration understands how critical water is for our lifeline in this city, and our crews are working nonstop to address the issue.
Nolan Gorman homers and drives in 3, including the game winner in the 10th inning as the Cards overcome 3 errors. They win it 5-4 over the Phillies Sunday night in Philadelphia. Cardinals will go to Houston for a 7-10 game tonight. Pre-game show begins at 6:15. Our Redbird Report is sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Win big with a pool or spa at AlohaPoolsUSA.com. I'm Joe Pott, Camo X Sports.
There's a vehicle fire that's just been cleared, 270 north at Doherty Ferry. There's road work on 270 south at Manchester. 2 left lanes are closed, and a stall 370 west at 141. The right lane is closed there. This afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, humid with a gusty thunderstorm in parts of the area. High temperature of 90. Thunderstorm in spots tonight, low 72. For tomorrow, more clouds than sun, not as hot, but humid with a thunderstorm and a high of 83. Sponsored by Sachs Financial. Right now, sun 80 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
A goal without a plan is just a wish. To get started on your retirement income plan, call Sachs Financial today and live your best life now and in retirement. Sachs Financial, the home of the retirement compensation plan at retiresafestl.com.
Cardinal Cowboy here for Renner Garage Door. Serving St. Louis and surrounding areas since 1966. We does all applications, the garage door and LiftMaster openers. RENNER, forward and back. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, the garage door company that does. Giddy up!
The KMOX studios powered by Onder Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com.
That's GetJim.com. This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you why pay more than four. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many markets' ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444. 314-441-all-fours. And remember, why pay more than four?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
It's time to roll. After 5 straight sellout crowds to end last season, Mizzou football is ready to rock again in 2024. Don't miss epic matchups as Auburn, Oklahoma, and Arkansas return to Faurot Field. Lock in your tickets now and join the electric atmosphere with 62,000 of your closest Tiger friends. Call 1-800-CAT-PAWS or visit mutigers.com/tickets to secure yours today. Welcome to the jungle, M-I-Z.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage available at Navage.com.
Hi, this is Paul Goldschmidt, and it's game day.
It's the Cards and Astros tonight. Ameren Total Access 6:15. First pitch 7:10.
Let's play ball.
On your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Got John Hancock with me, Chris Ranji today on KMOX. Amy Marks Kors is out, and we mentioned right before we went to break that a new cyber stalking task force is in the works, and all that's needed to happen now is the governor's signature on a new bill, as it did pass in the last legislative session. And joining us to talk about it is the sponsor of that bill. It is Senator Tracy McCreary, who is in studio with us right now. Senator McCreary, good to have you in. Thanks for coming
having me.
So let's talk about this bill. The next step is the governor needs to sign it. Before we get to that and the likelihood of that happening, tell us about this cyber stalking bill and why it is important. We know cyber stalking over the last 10 to 15 years has become a much, much bigger problem in this country.
It really has. And, part of that is, all of us are on social media. We now have all these new issues with artificial intelligence creating images that depict people in weird ways that can be used for harassment. And, pretty much we're online all the time. So this Stop Cyber Stalking and Harassment Task Force that I put forward, it was actually an idea that came from my predecessor, Senator Jill Shoup. We both had talked to survivors of cyber stalking and harassment, and quite honestly, they're stories that haunt me every day. Once you hear from survivors, you can't even imagine what people have gone through. One of the things that I was shocked by too when I first got involved and started to learn more is oftentimes these stalkers don't even actually know their victim that they pick. So I mistakenly thought it would be like an ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, that kind of thing. But oftentimes it can be what feels like just you're anonymously targeted. So, I just hope your listeners can try to imagine what it would be like that someone starts sending you emails and texts. They're letting you know that you're being watched. They threaten to harm you someday. You think about reaching out to the police. You might even reach out to the police, but they're just uncertain of the jurisdiction. They're not sure, like they're trying to get you to think about, is someone just mad at you? Is someone just messing with you? And you're just left in this really uneasy state where you're not sure what's going to happen next.
And sometimes it's even anonymous, right?
Yes.
You don't know who's going after you. Does the technology exist to allow law enforcement to figure out who's making these cyber threats?
It does exist, but I think that just like a lot of things, our state laws and federal laws haven't kept up with the ever-changing technology. So when I talk to first responders and law enforcement, they're really excited about this task force getting together because what it will do is it will bring together experts that know about the ever-evolving nature of technology. So we're going to bring people together that actually know what they're doing. But yeah, there are tools out there. And, the thing about cyber stalking is it doesn't know any jurisdiction. I mean, is the person stalking you in Russia? Are they in Illinois? We don't know. And so these are things that we need to work on and understand.
So that's my question is where's the gap in the law right now? Why is this necessary?
Well, quite simply, the laws have not kept up with technology. So we need to bring people together with knowledge, also people that have compassion and understanding of the victims and the survivors as well. And there are experts out there. There's a wealth of knowledge and expertise here in the state of Missouri. So this is about bringing all of the right people together so that we can look at the laws that we have and see what needs to be tweaked to update our laws. But also there's the survivor services side of thing as well. We need to make sure that survivors feel like they're being heard and treated with respect and dignity.
State Senator Tracy McCreary is our guest. She's a Democrat from St. Louis County. And on my side of the aisle, she's considered one of the brightest Democrats in the entire General Assembly. So
well, thank you.
We're delighted to have you here this morning. Any idea of how many people are affected by cyber stalking? I would imagine it's just grown exponentially over the decade.
It has grown. And also there are folks that don't report their cyber stalking and harassment. And part of that is because, so one of the survivors that I talked to, interestingly, she said that she came home one day and her house felt like someone had been in it, but it was just a feeling like she couldn't, so it's like a feeling like, was she just imagining it or was someone actually there? And then a couple weeks later, she gets home and her knife drawer is missing from her kitchen drawer.
Wow.
And the knife drawer is actually sitting on her bed in her bedroom. So these are things where, you just like, you just never know how it's going to evolve and unroll, So in this case, what I would say is her stalker was somebody that was local, so this is an example of where, the state laws could apply. You just, and it's such a vague feeling sometimes for these victims that they don't know if they should call the police or not. So I think the numbers are drastically underreported.
So this stalker caught?
Yes, this stalker was caught and he is imprisoned right now.
Okay. Good. I mean, that's a great outcome for that. As we were talking off the air, this is an effort that had been attempted before and did not ultimately get signed last time. So how close do you think this will be to actually getting signed by the governor?
Well, Senator Tony Luetkemeyer, a Republican senator and leader from Platte County on the other side of the state, he created this omnibus public safety bill. I'm confident that Senator Luetkemeyer has put together a bill that will pass muster by the governor's office. So last year, this task force was in another omnibus bill. One of the challenges with these omnibus bills is if there's one thing that has a flaw or a problem, that could put the whole bill at risk of veto. Or not being signed. So this bill was not signed last year. So we're hopeful that the governor and his team will give this omnibus, it's Senate Bill 754, give it a good look and get it signed.
If it was going to happen, or one way or the other, when do you think it would get done?
Well, everything has to be taken care of by July. So, and then the bill would go into effect, if signed, would go into effect August 28th. And we would have the task force named and have our first meeting by October 1st. So we want to get going on this because like you said at the top of this segment, it's a crime that's happening and it's ever evolving and we need to just get on it and come up with some solutions.
Can I ask you about how fascinating it is to serve in the Missouri State Senate?
Sure.
It was kind of for the last few years, it's been pretty difficult, right? And you're in the minority party, and I was in the minority party 100 years ago. It's a different experience, but you saw an awful lot of dysfunction in that chamber.
There was a lot of dysfunction, and I was a Senate staffer for 8 years. I worked with Senator Joan Bray from 2003 to 2010. I long for the old days where the Senate acted like the Senate. In a weird way, the Missouri State Senate is now tripartisan. So we have the Democrats, there's 9 of us right now. Then you have the regular conservative Republicans that are kind of reflected in the leadership of the state Senate. But then you have this so-called Freedom Caucus that's now a group of about 5 senators that has really wreaked havoc on the legislative process.
And is that what's driving the legislation to have to be omnibus in nature to get something through? It seems like everything gets loaded up that it ultimately passes.
Yeah, that is an interesting perspective on that. I will say Senator Luetkemeyer did a good job of putting things within that bill that weren't going to cause too much controversy and thus cause it to be filibustered. So this is a good bill. I think it was created with a lot of teamwork and communication.
It's good. I think most people, at least my perception is, it's what I want. I know it's what John wants. I think reasonable people want both sides of this, of the political spectrum to work together and find compromise. A lot of people who don't ever give up anything for the other side ever. Will we move back toward anytime soon a place where people actually do think that it's a good thing to compromise and it's not some sort of, it shouldn't be a mark against you, because that we see that a lot. Oh, you reached a deal with the other side, you're in trouble politically now. Can we get to a place where we're back to being normal and having to actually have a give and take?
Well, I think we can and we will. There are enough elected officials that want to see us return to a day where we treat each other as statespeople and where we treat each other with respect and dignity. But also, if you look at the bills that have already been signed by the governor, as well as the bills that are queued up to be signed, you really can't get anything to the governor's desk anymore unless you can work with people on the other side of the aisle. So hopefully people can look at that. And if you want to get results for your constituents, you're going to have to work with people on both parties.
Senator Tracy McCreary, we're glad you stopped in. Thanks for coming in and talking with us. And thanks for the information and good luck on this, because I know that cyber stalking it's a very big problem, and there are victims that you wouldn't even realize are victims. And I know that actually adolescent boys are very much at risk because they are targeted by some really bad people.
Yep. And this does impact both men and women of all ages.
Yeah.
Senator McCreary, thank you.
Thank you.
That is Senator Tracy McCreary with us here in studio. It's John and Chris on KMOX.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank and Building Community. This month, we're casting a light on RVCL, a rare genetic condition that is often or misdiagnosed. The Clayco Foundation is dedicated to developing meaningful treatments and finding a cure for RVCL and other rare diseases. You can help by learning more at rvcl.org. That's the initials rvcl.org. Together, we can build community.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey Bank. RVCL is a rare and often fatal genetic disease you've probably never heard of. Unfortunately, more patients are being identified with RVCL, but research is underway to find a cure. For rare diseases like RVCL, education is the first step to diagnosis. Please join Busey and learn more about RVCL at rvcl.org as we continue building the communities we call home.
What do Donna Vogt, Janet Williams, Susan Honor, and Jonathan Hurst have in common? They're just some of the best fans in baseball and winners of a pair of tickets to an upcoming game at $100 to Rawlings. Want to get in on the winning? To get entered, head to KMOX.com/contest and upload a photo of you decked out in your game day attire. The best fans in baseball, presented by KMOX and Rawlings, the mark of a pro.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you tired of those unwanted, stubborn areas of fat?
Do you want to lose up to 2 inches of that fat quickly and safely? Hi, this is Dr. Michael Glickert at St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and we offer the latest breakthrough treatment in fat reduction without surgery through our incredible Lumara body contouring program that gently melts fat naturally, eliminating it from your body. If you want to lose inches on your thighs, arms, waist, stomach, or back, take advantage of our limited time offer of just $69 for your first treatment, which is valued at $300. You heard that right, just $69 for your first treatment. Visit us online at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I admit I was skeptical about body contouring at St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, but I figured, what do I have to lose except apparently inches, because they already helped me lose 40 pounds, and then they took before and after pictures while I was doing body contouring. I did 8 treatments, and you could totally see the difference. So take advantage of this limited time offer, just $69 for your first body contouring treatment, regularly $300, by calling 314-207-8600 or online at moweightloss.com.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old opener too. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Convenient, free in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
With the new year, it's time to make sure you have the best vision for 2024. That means scheduling your annual eye exam with Ophthalmology Associates. Call 314-966-5000.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best, Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9-million.
Making radio waves more interesting. The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Are you freaking kidding me? No way!
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy?
First of all, before we get to this award-winning segment of ours.
Yeah, they're talking about stuff.
Guess what we have to give away today?
We've got stuff to give away out there.
We have a pair of tickets to see James Taylor at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Wow.
On Thursday night.
This coming Thursday night.
This coming
James
Thursday
Taylor.
night. We have tickets to give away today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
The day of the concert, we're giving away tickets.
Of the concert.
I'll tell you what, this is why KMOX is the best radio station.
Because if nobody cares about people, we care about people.
We care.
I think that it's,
passionately.
You know what? Thank you for noticing. Hey, did you see this story? And I know that you have multiple tattoos on your body.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Did you?
Had a goldfish on my stomach. Now looks like Moby Dick. It's,
oh, my God.
Not good.
Did you see this story?
No.
That they believe tattoos may increase blood cancer risk by 21%.
You don't say.
Yes, it has known carcinogens.
Well,
this
you
is
think
according
the ink, you're putting the ink on the stuff out there.
Well, yeah, this is that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
Lund University in Sweden. I assume is a good university. I don't know.
Yeah.
This research that they have done, they believe that with the known carcinogens that they believe can be transported around the body and end up in the lymph nodes, that because of it, there is a 21% greater risk of developing lymphoma or other blood cancers.
So if you've got multiple tattoos, say you got 6, 7, 10, 15 tattoos on you, I would think your cancer risk would
even higher.
Yes, I would think it would be.
See, that is an interesting thing that I never thought of.
Yeah.
Because it's really just below the skin. It's not like it goes deep into your body, but I guess anything can, right?
You see a lot of them though these days. I mean, everybody's walking around with a tattoo out there.
I've considered getting a tattoo.
Have you?
The only reason I haven't is because I don't know what to get.
Oh, well, you can get a little map of Chicago.
A map of Chicago.
Well, it's kind of interesting looking. You got the lake there.
A lot of people get the flag tattoos. So I think St. Louis and Chicago have two of the really great city flags in the country.
Absolutely true.
Both of those cities are really, really good. I love St. Louis's city flag. I think it's awesome.
It is a fine flag.
It
We
really
have
is.
a fine flag. It would look very good on your left buttock.
With the
and you can put Chicago on your right buttocks, and then you'd have a couple of
you
flags
confuse
on your
people.
butt. Yeah.
Did you see this? I did not know, John, but apparently in Alabama they have for state workers.
Yeah.
They have a holiday for Jefferson Davis's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the first Monday in June, and they've done it since 1901.
It's a state holiday.
Yes.
He's not even from Alabama.
I thought he was from Mississippi, isn't he?
I think he's not from Alabama.
Well, whatever. They have this. Do you think that there should be a holiday for a traitor?
No, I don't. But it's really interesting because we went through 3-4 years ago with all the Confederate statues being removed all over. Quite controversial at the time, and the vast majority of them were not erected just after the Civil War. The vast majority of them were erected in the early years of the 20th century.
Yeah,
which was, if you go back and look historically, that was a time where African Americans once freed after the Civil War flourished in a lot of places in the country. But by the time the new century rolled around, the oppression was probably at its high point, and a lot of those statues were put up as signs of intimidation more than anything else in the early 20th century.
That's what you're talking about is it's the sort of thing you do not learn when you are growing up. I never heard of, for example, the Tulsa massacre,
right?
Because that was exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
There were a lot of people, a lot of black people.
That was, I think, 1921, right?
Yeah, like 100 years ago, and they were prospering.
Oh,
and one little event that really actually never happened. A woman said that a young black boy came onto her, and then that set everything off.
Yeah,
and it didn't happen. That didn't happen. So this whole massacre happened because this woman lied about something.
Yeah.
At any rate, if you go back and read about all of that took place, that's just devastating because you were seeing people start to prosper, and then all of that was completely wiped out.
Well, and that period after the Civil War, because I love ragtime music, and ragtime music was America's first popular music, really. And it was this combination of cultures, the European culture and the African culture kind of coming together to form music. And in those years, in the 1880s and early 1890s, there was a pretty healthy amount of, mixing of the races in cities all over this country, small and large cities. And a lot of that came to an end once the turn of the century happened in 1900.
Yeah, you wonder how different things would be if people would just have let it go, right?
Yep.
This is not really so much a question of did you see this? This is more of a maybe late to the party. Do you know what a long S is?
Well, the long S is no.
So I only know about this because yesterday I was watching I love old historical photos and if there are videos and footage and that sort of thing. So I was watching a thing about St. Louis and some of the turn of the century and, like thereafter, before that, mid 1800s all the way through up until now, some old photos. And they showed a photo of what was currency. It was a $10 bill, kind of a $10 bill sort of looking thing.
Yeah.
And it had the word Missouri on it. Mifsouri.
Yeah.
I never heard of a long S. That is called a long S. That F is a thing that they used to do up until about 1850.
You see that in a lot to the founding of the country.
I have never noticed that.
I knew that.
They don't do that anymore. See, you're very smart. That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. 314-436-7900 is the number. But when we come back, we're going to talk to Darius Shepard because the St. Louis Battlehawks have clinched home field advantage in the playoffs. Darius Shepard is a wide receiver for the team, and he's with us next on KMOX.
If you have an IRS problem, getting accurate legal advice could help get this all behind you right now. Hi, I'm local attorney Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. The IRS made new changes that make it easier to settle your IRS debt for a reduced amount. Not all our clients qualify, but under the IRS's new Fresh Start program, you may be able to resolve your IRS problems quickly and for less money. But don't wait. An IRS problem is a legal problem. You need someone who understands both the IRS and the law. Don't trust your tax problems to some TV personality. The Drury Law Firm has handled thousands of IRS cases over the last 15 years, and your first visit is completely free and confidential. And I'll tell you on the spot exactly how much it will cost. So if you're facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120, or go to LanceDruryLaw.com. If you have IRS issues, you need a local attorney. You need me, Lance Drury.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels has to be New York. Skiing, Colorado, every time. And for psychics, think California Psychics. When you want the best, some places are better than others. That's why at CaliforniaPsychics.com, home of free spirits, big dreams, and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. We connect you with the very best, so we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So whatever direction you want to take your life, you know where to start. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, we've got some sun, 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. Our top story this hour. Jury selection is underway in the trial of Hunter Biden. The president's son faces 3 felony charges in Delaware. He's accused of making false statements about his drug use when purchasing a gun in 2018.
While President Biden wouldn't comment on the case, he issued a statement saying, "I am the president, but I am also a dad. I have boundless love for my son, confidence in him, and respect for his strength."
CBS's Stacey Lynn. If found guilty, Hunter Biden could face a prison sentence of up to 25 years. What are the options for former President Trump to appeal his guilty verdict?
We're looking to go as high and as far as quickly as possible.
Will Sharp, a Missouri attorney on Trump's legal team, tells KFTK they won't be able to appeal the 34 guilty counts from his hush money trial until next month's final judgment.
But we began working on grounds for appeal literally within minutes of the jury verdict coming down. We're prepared. We're excited. This case is full of reversible error. I mean, it was just a lawless case from the start. And we think we have very strong grounds to appeal it and get it overturned.
Trump will be sentenced on July 11th. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
A St. Louis University researcher wants to track what you toss out.
KMOX's Megan Lynch is mapping the geospatial sector.
These are small, self-powered.
The hope is to eventually put sensors on every trash and recycling bin in the city.
These are small, self-powered sensors, geospatial sensors, in that they collect locational information so we will know where they are. And more importantly, these will be embedded in
waste and recycling bins.
Orhun Aiden, assistant professor in earth and atmospheric science at SLU School for Science and Engineering, says the sensors also include technology to help identify what is being thrown out. Aiden tells KMOX the hope is to optimize trash collection routes and better manage what ends up in landfills. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Battlehawks drew a crowd of more than 34,000 for their previous home game inside the Dome at America's Center. Head coach Anthony Becht says he's hoping for a larger, louder turnout for the conference championship Sunday night.
We will deliver the product. Now we got to get that place rocking for the playoffs and make it a truly home field advantage in the playoffs.
Tickets are now on sale through the UFL website. The game is at 6 Sunday night. The KMOX business desk, 5 Japanese car makers admit they mishandled important safety tests. Details from Jeff Gilbert.
This only involves models sold in Japan, but Toyota in particular is suspending sales of some vehicles in its home market after the revelation. Toyota, Mazda, Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki retested their vehicles following an earlier investigation revealing inadequate testing. Japanese authorities say this undermines user confidence.
Dow from Stifel's down 244 points to 38,441. Two-vehicle crash on Ladue going west at 141. The right lane is closed.
Times of sun and clouds, breezy, hot, and rather humid this afternoon with a gusty thunderstorm in parts of the area. Watch for flooding downpours, hail, and localized damaging wind gusts with a high near 90. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sun and 81 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Express Employment Professionals.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is your one connection for a summer job in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
A roller coaster ride of banter and brilliance. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
McCarron on the run. In the end zone. Touchdown, Stephen Mitchell.
For the first time in over 20 years, John, there will be a professional home playoff football game here in the city of St. Louis.
Wow. And the turf is still the same.
And the turf, it is exactly the same turf. I wasn't going to say that, but it is the same turf.
Yeah.
And the Battlehawks have clinched the home playoff game that they will play.
Huge.
It's actually really is. This is kind of a big deal. I'm very excited about it. It will happen next week on Sunday, a 6:00 game at the Dome at the Americas Center. It'll be the XFL Conference Championship game. And your St. Louis Battlehawks are involved in that game. We're going to talk to, in just a moment, Darius Shepard, who is a receiver and kick returner.
Yeah.
He's going to be with us in a
He's
moment.
An electric player. He's a very talented young man and very exciting to watch. And this whole team's exciting to watch. The game this weekend was a cliffhanger, 13-12 win for the Battlehawks. They held on with a missed field goal by San Antonio, the Brahmas, as the clock almost expired in the fourth quarter, and but they won it, and it's important because St. Louis is the only team in this league that draws fans in any kind of significant numbers. I think we had another 30,000 in the Dome. It would be great. It would be great if St. Louis would show up for this playoff game in record numbers. It'd be great for the league. And certainly would be great for the Battlehawks. And it'd be fun to have a championship team here again.
It sure would. And that's what they are trying to do, fill the Dome on Sunday evening. And to join us to talk about that, we go to the Quiver River Electric guest line, and Battlehawks wide receiver Darius Shepard,
my favorite player,
with us here on KMOX. Good morning, Darius. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are y'all?
We're doing okay. Congratulations on the win and clinching home field advantage.
Yeah, thank you. We were super excited about that.
So I know just from talking to anybody involved with the team and really for St. Louis that it matters so much to play in that building and to see the amount of people that are there every Saturday or every Sunday or whenever the game is, how much does it matter to you as a player and to the rest of the team when you see a building that has so many people in it?
Yeah, for the team, it's a huge factor. Just the energy aspect. Getting to play in front of 30, 40,000 plus people every week and know they're there to support you. And when it comes to the game, we have a huge advantage as far as, drawing false starts in the offense and the noise factors impacting their communication. So it's been definitely helpful to have, the crowd behind us in St. Louis.
This is not going to be your first championship game that you participated in. In fact, you've participated in a championship game before in this very dome. Darius, tell us about that experience.
Yeah, it feels like a long, long time ago, but I grew up in Blue Springs, and we played the state championship game actually in the dome back in the day. So I have a couple run-ins in St. Louis over there. So we're hoping to get another championship victory, in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and so you'll play this game here. Of course, the championship game, if you were to make it to that point, is also going to be at the Dome. What is the difference? I know when you go on the road, clearly other fans are not cheering for your team when you're there. Does it feel like massively, significantly different to be at the Dome than opposed to when you play somewhere else?
It really does. It's a special environment that they've created with the fans there. We get off the bus for game day and they're lined up outside to greet us, and we have that really cool walk experience, which for a lot of guys, they haven't necessarily been to the biggest stage where they've walked through NFL stadiums and been in front of 80,000 plus, so getting to play in front of 40, 50,000 people is an incredible thing. And, we're excited to experience it again this weekend.
Yeah, this league is fascinating to me because there's a lot of talent in the UFL. It used to be the XFL that we followed a year ago. And many of you, like yourself, do have NFL experience. And many of these players would like to have NFL experience. And for some, that has worked out. How much of a deal is it to have a bunch of guys that are really taking maybe what might be their last shot at the National Football League?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this league has been I think they call it the league of opportunity, and that's what it's been, because it gives guys a chance, if you've already been at the highest level, to come back and get another opportunity and recreate your career. And if you haven't gotten there yet, it's a great stepping stone. I'm hoping that this league will stick around and kind of be that feeder system, similar to like baseball, where they have, the majors and they have AAA, AA, and all that. So it's definitely just a blessing to have something where you keep continuing to play ball and develop your craft.
Why is your team, why are the St. Louis Battlehawks as good as they have been this year?
I think we've created a great culture. The coaches and staff did an awesome job of bringing a good group of guys together, and we have a couple of years under our belt from having guys on the team last year. So I think it's playing like a family and knowing what our mission is. And Coach Beck does an awesome job just getting us on the same page. So that's kind of why we've had the success we've had at this point.
You're 28 years old, went to North Dakota State University. Are you married, kids?
Yeah, so I'm married, and I actually do have a kid on the way this summer. So definitely growing up.
That's great. Congratulations. Have we picked out a name yet?
Yeah, we do. Her name will be Louie, and nice. Not because of St. Louis. People always ask me that, but
well, just say that it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
We'll be very happy about that.
That's awesome. Okay, so now let me ask you this question. I heard this question asked on the ball game last night. If you had to trust Louie for the weekend, you and your wife getting away for a weekend, which player on the Battlehawks would you entrust taking care of your daughter? Uh-huh.
That's a tough one there, isn't it? Let me think.
AJ?
I'm gonna go with PETA.
Whoa. All right. Why?
Yeah, PETA be my selection. He's just a really good dude. Great energy. So I think PETA would be very trustworthy.
We're talking to Darius Shepard, receiver for the St. Louis Battlehawks, a team that is heading to the playoffs. They'll play San Antonio on Sunday night. Gets going at 6:00. That's when the kickoff is. TheUFL.com/tickets if you want to go out there. And I'm sure we all want to see a full building at the Dome on Sunday night. You mentioned that you are from Missouri. You're just outside Kansas City, right?
Yes, sir. Blue Springs.
Did you grow up a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, I did. I also had some love for the Rams, though, because I spent some time out in St. Louis. So it was kind of back and forth as a kid growing up, but definitely a Chiefs guy.
Yeah, so we see the Chiefs. This happens to be a radio home of the Chiefs. We have Chiefs games here on Sunday throughout the year.
They need a receiver, by the way.
Yeah, they do need to, but not yet. He's got to finish up here. So you played for Green Bay for a little bit of time. What was that experience like to get to even be at Lambeau Field?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Lambeau is an amazing place. You know, getting to play for the Packers, such a historic organization. I had to grow up a lot, getting to be around, you know, guys like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. It was a really cool learning experience for me. So I'm happy I got to spend a couple of years there to start my career, and it's definitely helped as I've continued playing.
Well, you're kind of an electric kick returner. I enjoy watching you return kicks. And how many over the course of your high school, college, and professional career, how many kicks have you taken to the house, either via punt or kickoff?
Yeah, I would say with you total them both up, maybe like 10. I got to get one in this UFL league though. So, you know, coming up soon, we got to get one to the end zone.
Well, next Sunday would work just fine for us. The kickoff in the UFL is different than it is in the NFL.
Well, they'll be adopting it now.
Yeah, the NFL's adopting it this next year. Explain how the kickoff works in the UFL.
Yeah, so it's actually crazy. The XFL and UFL had a different format. The XFL has the kickoff from like the 50-yard line, which they're going to adopt in the NFL, and they're going to try that out for player safety reasons, I think, which will be, I think it'll be really exciting because you're going to have kickoff return play back. You know, so many times kickers kick it out of the back of the end zone, you move on to the next snap. But the UFL actually backed up the kickoff 15 yards to the 20-yard line. So it's a longer rundown. It creates more space and opportunity to make plays. So it's been a lot of fun adapting to that style this year from last year's XFL format. And at the end of the day, when you're a playmaker, you just want to get the ball in your hands and have space. And my guys do an awesome job every week blocking for me and allowing me to have the success that we've had to this point.
In terms of rules, clearly the kickoff rule's a big one because it's massively different. But are there any other UFL/XFL rules you like that you think NFL should adopt?
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of after you score, you know, the 1, 2, and 3-point try. I think that's you know, exciting and creates a different dynamic as far as having to account for the points. And, you know, is it a 2-possession game? Is it a 1-possession game? And I also like at the end of the game when you have the 4th and 12 opportunity versus the onside kick.
Yeah, that 4th and
That's
15.
very cool, yeah.
And you were on the team last year when I think it was the first game of the season where the Battlehawks pulled off the 4th and 15 and came back from 2 scores to win in the fourth quarter. Remember that game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a wild one. So I think you just having games like that where, you know, you might be out of it in a traditional sense allows teams to come right back and make it an awesome finish.
Darius Shepard, congratulations on getting the win, on clinching home field. We are positive that it will be crowded Sunday night at the Dome at America's Center to watch.
And my favorite player is going to return a kick for a touchdown in that game.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and when it does happen, you have to call us back and say thank you.
Yeah, go get him, Tiger.
We will do that for sure.
Darius Shepard, good luck on Sunday. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a good one.
That is Battlehawks receiver and kick returner Darius Shepard with us. And again, tickets for the conference championship game, they are on sale. They've been on sale for about an hour and 15 minutes. So if you want to go, we highly encourage you to do it. I am going to try to be there. The UFL.com/tickets. The UFL.com/tickets. They will be taking on the Brahmas. There was a tweet by the team account, the Battlehawks, when they were at halftime.
Yeah.
And it was something like Battlehawks 10, whatever the hell a Brahma is, nothing. What is a Brahma? Is it a horse?
It's a horse.
Anyway, Battlehawks and Brahmas, Sunday night at the Dome, theufl.com/tickets. It's John Hancock, Chris Ranji, KMOX.
Hi, I am Jackie Brock, the wife of our beloved Lou Brock, St. Louis Cardinal legend and Hall of Famer. I have a new resident. I am so excited to tell you about Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles, Missouri. It is my new residence where I find everything for life and living. The staff is incredible, kind, warm, cordial, supportive, everything that you would want in an independent living community. The activities are innumerable, and we find the food the best in town. Call in today about the $99 move-in special. 636-754-2317. I'll see you there.
Hi, Ken Newbold for Newbold Toyota. 2023 is our 50th year of being a Toyota dealer, so come see us. We're on Highway 64 in O'Fallon, Illinois, or check us online at newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Your best friend deserves the best care. That's why your pet needs regular checkups and preventatives so they can keep running, playing, snuggling, and being part of your family. Your pet won't tell you when something is wrong, so the veterinarians at the Animal Medical Center of Mid-America are here to help. They provide comprehensive, compassionate care in a fear-free setting. Give your best friends the care they deserve. Go to amcma.org or 314-951-1534 to schedule a visit today.
All right, summer's just right around the corner, so it's still not too late at all to be proactive on your air conditioning system. One, to make sure it's ready to go. And two, if you were thinking about replacing your system last year or the year before, still good time, good pricing, 0% on the equipment without the price increase yet that's coming here taking an effect. So if you're like to be proactive, call me. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. That number is 314-293-2600. Again, very easy, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or the website, bartinman.com. Now that is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Smokey the Bear. After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
KMOX, your go-to for family-friendly discussions of topics that matter to you. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter, they called it away from the ball foul because it happened prior to the inbound. So then anybody can shoot the free throw.
So that happened a couple of days ago in a game between the Indiana Fever, where Caitlin Clark is a new member of the team, and the Chicago Sky. You heard Kennedy Carter was the person who was called for the infraction, and she just ran up to Caitlin from behind and
knocked her over.
Oh, shouldered her right to the ground, and it was not part of the play at all. And she was rightfully called for a penalty for that particular play. But that play and the way Caitlin Clark seems to have been treated since she's entered the league has caused a lot of people to pay attention and to come to her defense and be, just downright angry at everybody for the way she has been treated. And I got to tell you, John, I don't mind any of this. I think this is all of this stuff, whatever hatred people have for her, her fellow players, her opponents, and all of this disdain they seem to have on the court. This is great for the league because everybody is paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And it's not just a continuation of, Clark being really good in college and then going to the WNBA and playing really well there. There's heightened attention that's being paid to the league, not just because she's in it, but because of all these rivalries that seem to be materializing from people who, I guess, don't seem to like her for whatever reason.
I've been doing radio on KMOX now for over 15 years. This is the first segment of that entire career that I've ever talked about the WNBA. So that tells you everything you need to. We're talking about it.
Yes.
And
people
are talking about it. So, that's the difference that Caitlin Clark has made in this league. And whether you like her or don't like her, we're tuned in. And as you say, and now these athletes that are running her over and calling her, horrible names on the court, all of that is happening. What I think they fail to realize is that their relevance and maybe even their revenue is owed in no small part to the phenomenon of Caitlin Clark. And they, instead of running her over, they ought to be thanking her.
It is what it is. I feel like I'm just at the point where you accept it and don't retaliate. Like, just let them hit you, be what it is. Don't let it get inside your head and know it's coming. I think at this point, I know I'm going to take a couple hard shots a game, and that's what it is. Just stay in the game and saying what's important.
So here's where I will, I guess, disagree with you on it. I think I don't think anybody should go out of their way to hurt her.
No,
you don't want her injured because that's not good for the league. But to play her tough, I think, is a good thing.
Oh yeah,
to not just let her run by you and do whatever she wants. They're going to play defense on her, and they might take it a little too far sometimes. This is nothing to do, and I've heard a lot of people try to say, well, this is racism. They don't like her because she's white. It's not that. They don't like her because she's this newcomer that now all of a sudden people care about the league because she's in it. And you have all these other players who were thinking, well, wait a minute, what about us? We've been here and we've been good also, but only now do you want to pay attention to her. If you remember, there was a thing called the Jordan rules. And that was something that happened in the late 80s when Michael Jordan entered the league.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Pistons figured out that the way to play defense on him was to maul him to death. And that's what they did. It was called the Jordan rules. He was fouled and went to the free throw line. He had top 5, I believe. It was either number 5 or number 6 all time in free throw attempts his rookie season because players around the league were going after him. The same thing happened to Shaq. The same thing happened to some of the great players entering the league as rookies. Other teams say, oh, you're good, Rook, huh? Okay, well, we'll show you. And we're going to play you tough. And you're going to get mauled. And you remember Shaquille O'Neal?
I do.
There was a thing called, you ever heard of Hack-a-Shaq?
No.
That is a term that was used because Shaq was so big and he was undefensible that they had to foul him pretty much every time. And that when they knew he couldn't shoot free throws. So the idea was, we'll just foul him and put him at the line, and he's not good at free throws, and that's the only way we can beat him. And the league had to come out and institute some rules so they couldn't do that to him. This is the same sort of thing. You've got a player that maybe there's some resentment there. Maybe there's some jealousy. I'm sure there is.
It has to be.
But this isn't about racism. This is about trying to put a rookie in her place. And that's what a lot of these players are doing. I think this is all fantastic for the league.
Well, there's no question about
People
that.
have passionate opinions about it.
And they're selling tickets.
Yes.
There's something you don't see every day. People are paying tickets and they're going to see what professional women's basketball. That's new.
It's awesome. I love it. The league should love it. These rivalries should continue. The hateful language, I think, is perfectly fine. Some of the best rivalries in the history of the NBA are between players who hate each other and talk crap to each other. The sport of basketball is people just talking crap to each other on the floor in the middle of a game. This is great. Keep it up.
There it is.
Let's go.
Brunch.
Let's go.
Coming in with the opinions. Gotta love that.
Kind of have to. Hey, speaking of opinions, Matt Pauley has some.
Oh,
Cardinals.
The voice of the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's one of the voices of the Cardinals, and he joins us next after the Cardinals played in Philadelphia. Pauley's next on KMOX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
Did you know you can unlock the equity from your current home and stay in it while you find your next home or while your new home is being built? Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert, can do that for you. Here's a problem that many home sellers find themselves in. They want to sell their home, but where will they move? Plus, they need the funds from their current home to go purchase the next home. Well, Gloria gets it. And that's why she created her Sell and Stay program, which lets you sell your home, get the cash, and stay in that home for up to 12 months. Gloria Liu thinks of every dilemma a home seller goes through and provides a guaranteed solution. If you need the cash from your current home to buy your next home, here's my recommendation. Call the agent I trust, Gloria Liu, and ask her about her Sell and Stay program. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
At 11:30, sun, 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. Joe Biden says as president, he won't comment on his son Hunter's criminal trial, but as a dad, he has, quote, boundless love for him. Hunter Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are in a Delaware court for jury selection in a federal gun case against him. Dr. Anthony Fauci is offering his first congressional testimony in nearly 2 years on the coronavirus pandemic.
The accusation being circulated that I influenced these scientists to change their minds by bribing them with millions of dollars in grant money is absolutely false and simply preposterous.
The Illinois law enforcement torch run makes its way through some Metro East communities today. The torch is on its way to normal for the start of the Illinois Special Olympics on Friday. Crash on 70 East at Cypress. The right lane is closed. A two-vehicle crash on Ladue West at 141. The right lane is closed. Road work on 70 East at 79. The right lane is closed. Weather sponsored by Nicholas D'Alba Real Estate. Times of sun and clouds today with a high of 90. For tonight, a thunderstorm, low 72. For tomorrow, more clouds than sun with a high of 83. Right now, 82 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Nick D'Alba with Nicholas D'Alba Real Estate. Are you selling your home? As a full-service broker with 35 years of real estate experience, we are positioned to beat the competition on price and service. Visit nickdalba.com to schedule a consultation so we can discuss why now is the best time to sell your home with Nicholas D'Alba Real Estate.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Summertime is the best time to enjoy the outdoors and enhance the appearance of your home. Banner Construction can make your home the showplace of the neighborhood with maintenance-free James Hardy siding and beautiful Pella replacement windows. Drive up to your home with a renewed pride. Visit bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050. Get a free in-home design and estimate. Call 314-569-1050 and have a banner day. 314-569-1050.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
McKelvey Homes waterfront at Wild Horse Village in Chesterfield is selling fast. With just 3 open home sites and 2 quick move-in homes available, you don't want to miss your chance to live in this unique community. Visit McKelveyHomes.com for more information.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need the best. Let us make your case our cause. Car accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9-million.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Call 314-334-2522 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Plus 0% financing for 36 months. For the last windows you'll ever buy, go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldschmidt.
I'm Cardinals outfielder Lars Nootbaar.
I'm Woodson Contreras.
Now, Chris and Amy give you the birds.
I'm Adam Wainwright, and you're listening to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
The 2-2 pitch coming up. And there it is. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Great work by Ryan Helsley. He picks up save number 19, and the Cardinals win this one 5-4.
Yo, Paulie!
Paulie's a great name. Watch your mouth, Paulie.
Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything?
Want to get your beer, Paulie?
Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Now, the Cardinals dropped 2 of 3 to the Phillies, but they do win that finale. And they still continue to play good baseball overall. They are in much better position now than they were, say, 3 weeks ago. And we bring in our guy, our sports fella. It is Matt Pauley. He's with us now on the Quiver River Electric guest line, who just had himself a nice weekend in Philadelphia. Now he's back in St. Louis. Hey, Matt, before we get started, does this sound familiar to you?
It does.
Attention. An emergency has been reported in this building.
That's annoying. So what's that all about?
Okay, so that was the first part of my day yesterday.
Now, real quick. Hold on. Let me preface this, Matt, before you. This is the team hotel, right? So the players are staying in this hotel.
Yes,
Okay.
same hotel as the team. And at about 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday, that starts going off, and it goes off for a good 10 to 12 minutes. And in it, there's a thing that's like, don't leave your room, don't go to the elevator, don't go to the stairs, further instruction will be coming. It stops, 15 minutes go by, and then it starts again, but instead of that voice, it's somebody repeating over and over that the fire department has been here, all clear, you have nothing to worry about. That's a message that can be given once or twice. It goes on for 5 minutes at about 5:20, 5:30 after 15 minutes had gone by since the first one ended. So thankful I was leaving yesterday. My alarm was going to go off at about 6, so it only cost me about an hour of sleep. But for normal people, that was probably pretty annoying.
Well, it didn't affect the players. They won.
No, they won. They won. That are you leading into the next part of my day?
I'd love to hear about the next part of your day.
Go right ahead, Matt.
Okay. So I get to the airport.
Yeah.
And I get on the plane and we're taxiing out.
They're taxiing
We're
out.
next for takeoff. And then all of a sudden we veer off and the pilot comes over and she says, we need ground service. So I don't know what that means. We get to the gate. They open up the doors. An American Airlines employee comes on and talks to like the people in the front for a second. And then I'm in row 10. They go back to row 14, pull somebody off the plane and take them off.
Wow.
Like, what in the world is going on here? So then the pilot, about 5 minutes goes by, the pilot comes back over. She hasn't come out of the cockpit yet. And she says, just, want to be fully forthright with everything that's going on. We've had people get sick on the plane, and we need to get this taken care of. And then I hear the term vomit situation coming from one of the flight attendants up front. So I guess there's 2 or 3 more people in the back who have had that type of issue, and they have not yet been taken off of the plane. So the pilot says that they're going to bring a cleaning crew on board to take care of some of the areas in the back. And this is like way back in the plane. So eventually she walks out of the cockpit. She's talking to the people in the front, and she's got like, don't make me turn this car around vibes going. And she just picks up the loudspeaker and looks at all of us. And she says, everybody off the plane, multiple people are getting sick. We need to do a deep clean of this plane.
So my goodness.
Okay.
This is like Airplane the movie.
Yeah. So we get off the plane.
Barfarama
I get off
out
the
there.
plane. There are firefighters, there are paramedics, there are police officers like triaging people in the waiting area as we're off. And we're just waiting. And then like a big cleaning crew gets on the plane, probably 20, 30 minutes goes by. Then they say we can reboard. They do the security thing for us all again. This is how the flotation devices and everything works. We're back on the plane. They did, by the way, offer us that if we were not comfortable getting back on that plane, they would rebook us. So everybody's back on the plane. Then we're waiting on to take off, and we're just sitting there for a while, and nobody knows why we're not moving. And then she comes back over the loudspeaker and says, there is a bald eagle in the middle of the runway, and they cannot move until it flies away.
Why did they go chase it away?
I don't know. I had a day.
Dude,
day.
You
yesterday.
did have a day.
Man, nobody has a day like you do.
That
I don't know what
was
it's like.
that was
Things
incredible.
Things are attracted to you. I don't know what it is. Like just odd occurrences.
Yes, it's been that way my entire life.
What in the world, man? So people are puking on the plane. That's what happened on Airplane, the movie.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
See?
Yes.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Wow.
People are getting sick. Wow. Well, we're glad you're okay. Actually, I have a question. How come you just weren't on the team charter?
Because I wasn't on the whole trip. Well, 2 things. Because it's a 3-city trip.
Oh, that's right.
I
They're
didn't
on
go
the
to
way
Cincinnati,
to
Houston.
Yeah.
And also, so I was only there to do the Friday game, and then they kept me there on Saturday just in case Ricky had a little bit of trouble getting back. Like the last thing they would have wanted is for me to come in, do play-by-play of the Friday game, leave, and then Ricky not do the Saturday game because he had travel issues. So they made sure to keep me there an extra day. And don't forget, I have an incredibly pregnant wife.
That's right.
Who was very, very concerned. At one point, she thought that she was going into labor while I was out of town. So, I mean, that was I was never gonna. It was just a commercial flight in, commercial flight out.
All right, buddy. Well, we're glad you're okay.
How about those Cardinals?
Yeah, how about the Birds?
That was a good win yesterday. You know, I thought when they took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati, what that really did was it gave them kind of the leeway to not have to win the series against Philadelphia, because the Phillies they're the best team in baseball. 41 wins. They've scored over 300 runs. They've got one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. So you salvage a game there. I don't think losing 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia is the worst thing in the world. I know there's some people who don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. They're that good. Now we'll see what happens in Houston. If you win 2 out of 3, you have a winning road trip. If you lose 2 out of 3, it's not great, but you go 4-5 on a really tough road trip. That's not an end of the world sort of thing. So winning that game yesterday was key because it really gave them the opportunity for this not to be a really bad, 9-day trip.
Yeah. So I mean, getting the win is clearly a very big deal. You've had the other day, not just talking about tomorrow here, but the other day, the hitting streak for Mason Wynn came to an end because they decided to hit him late, and he got that one at bat, didn't get a hit in the at bat, so the hitting streak technically has come to an end. And there was a lot of conversation about that. Did they do the right thing by letting him go? Personally, I feel like the streak is nice for him, but the team wins are the only thing that matters. The wins are the only thing that matter right now.
Exactly. I can't believe people who overvalue a streak over going for the win late. And Mason Wynn's, I don't think his back is 100%. I think he's playing through some stuff. I don't know that for 100% sure, but I just get the sense that it's not 100%. So they're kind of navigating through some health issues with him, making sure he stays on the field. Also trying to make sure that a young guy who's never played a 162-game season has the opportunity to make it through 162 games, which is challenging. So you give him a day, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with giving guys a day. When people criticize, maybe part of the reason he's having such a good season is because they are working so hard to keep him rested and ready to go. But when there's a chance, when you've got a pitching matchup that is advantageous to Mason Wynn, and it's a 1-run or 2, I can't remember if it was 3-2 or 4-2 when he came up, but it's a 1-run or 2-run game. Yeah, you put Mason Wynn in there, and if he goes 0 for 1 and he ends his hitting streak, who cares? It's about winning baseball games.
That's exactly correct, Matt Pauly. Cardinals have been playing very well over the last 3 weeks. The pitching has been very stable for the most part. The hitting has come back for the most part. But the defense has been a puzzle because early in the season, the Cardinals defensively were as sound as any team you could think of in the league. Then they had that era day streak, for 12 games. Last night, a couple of almost cost them the game, the defensive play. What accounts for that?
I don't know. It's a great question. Now, for the most part, it hasn't hurt them. When their defense was great at the beginning of the season, they weren't winning as many games as they're winning now. So I'm not trying to be dismissive of the importance of defense. I'm just saying it hasn't hurt them. But there was one game recently where they gave up 2 earned runs and unearned runs. They lost 3-1. I can't remember which game that was. It was since first game in Cincinnati. I think that was 3-1, and they gave up 2 unearned runs. So that obviously hurt them there. They're better than they're playing, and they're still making, sometimes you judge a defense on like fielding percentage, which is number of errors committed, or you judge them on like high level plays. And I still think the Cardinals are making high level plays. We saw that in the Friday night game, Nolan Gorman had that incredible flip. Brandon Crawford got to a really tough ball. We've seen Alec Burleson throw guys out. Like they're still making the high level defensive plays, but some of these more routine type plays are not being made. And it is very confusing because they are a much better defensive team than they've shown.
So where the Cardinals are right now in the division, as we've been talking, they have played better as a team overall. There hasn't been a ton of movement upward, though, for them over the last few weeks. They are still 7 games back of the Milwaukee Brewers, which before the season started, you remember the conversations we had, and I said it then, that I will dismiss the Brewers, and I'll probably do it at my own peril because I've been doing it for years, saying, oh, they can't be good this year. And here they are at 36-23. As you're looking at the division right now and the way things sit, how likely is it to kind of go like this for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I still don't believe in the Brewers. I look
See,
at the
I never
roster,
believe in them. And then they're like, they win the
I
division.
I worked there for years, and I know how it works there. Like I know that they get the most out of their guys. It's a remarkable run by them over the years, where their roster has never looked like a best roster. But in the past, you had Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff at the top. You had MVP level Christian Yelich. Like there's been years where they have looked good. You look at that roster and you just go, how are they doing this? But they keep winning. They swept the White Sox over the weekend. They keep having issues too, like benches clearing situations. It happens over and over and over with them. I feel like at some point in time, they've got to kind of slow down like this. And the way that Pat Murphy is using the roster and the pitching, it feels very much like he's using it more like a college baseball setup than you would in professional baseball. And maybe the pitching will let up at some point, but I don't know. Give credit where there's 13 games over 500. They're 36-23. Now they're going to play the Phillies for a 3-game series starting tonight. So maybe we see how they do to the Phillies compared to how the Cardinals did to the Phillies. But yeah, I don't have an answer for that because they just keep winning games.
It's wild. I got to stop doing it with them. It's almost like I'm not saying they're Tom Brady, but it just seemed like every year you were thinking, all right, Tom Brady's not going to be good this year. He's finally too old. And then he was still good. He just kept being good until he retired. So it's like the Brewers every single year. I think they're not going to be that good. And then they're good.
Let's wait on this. I think they fall off eventually. Now, what does fall off mean? It means I don't think they're going to be 13 games above 500 at the end of the year. Does that mean I think they're going to be a sub 500 team? I'm not saying that. But I do think the door is going to swing open a little bit for somebody, maybe the Cardinals, to gain some ground on them.
So Houston, that's the opponent tonight, 6:15. Matt Pauley has the pregame show. The first pitch will be 7:10 from Houston, Texas. Kyle Gibson, Justin Verlander is the pitching matchup tonight. You can hear it on KMOX and the free Odyssey app if you are in the St. Louis area. Thank you, Matt Pauley.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
I think he's going to have nightmares about that hotel alarm.
I may.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji, KMOX.
The KMOX studios powered by Onder Law Injury Lawyers. GetJim.com.
That's GetJim.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
What do Donna Vogt, Janet Williams, Susan Honor, and Jonathan Erst have in common? They're just some of the best fans in baseball and winners of a pair of tickets to an upcoming game at $100 to Rawlings. Want to get in on the winning? To get entered, head to KMOX.com/contests and upload a photo of you decked out in your game day attire. The best fans in baseball, presented by KMOX and Rawlings, the mark of a pro.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Maholtra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Barry. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1902 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1902 silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 300 of these Morgan silver dollars are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-937-4707, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1902 Morgan silver dollar, featuring the iconic O mint mark of the New Orleans Mint, but with limited quantity. You must call now. These 1902 silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 122 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-937-4707. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-937-4707 now to secure your 1902 Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-937-4707.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Tune into the Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX for expert advice on remodeling, design, and construction. This live Q&A show begins at 11 a.m. or find podcasts at mosbybuildingarts.com.
Ordinary radio is overrated. Extraordinary radio now. Chris and Amy on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Here's the throw to the plate. And he's out. And Contreras is barking at him. Tommy Pham's barking back. He's not backing down. He doesn't like that. And now home plate umpire Edwin Jimenez has to hold back Pham. Nah, we ain't taking that. We ain't taking that from the Brewers. I don't care how many L's we got this year. We ain't taking that.
Calm down, big guy.
Wow.
You're just in the broadcast booth. We ain't taking that. Oh, you're
Who
not.
was that guy?
John Schriffen. He's the White Sox play-by-play guy. He is
Voice of the White Sox. Here's something we should all aspire to.
He is something. We ain't taking that. Oh, aren't you?
Tommy Pham's got a bit of a temper.
So Tommy Pham, all right, that was a play yesterday at the plate. Or was it 2 days ago? Doesn't matter. And Pham was coming down the third baseline, and he was out of the baseline. He was going after the catcher, which you are not allowed to do anymore.
Right.
And he was doing it. He was wrong. He was absolutely wrong. But this is Tommy, after that play happened, talking about what did happen.
1-run ball game, close play at the plate, and actually it wasn't even close. It's a shallow fly ball to left field. You would expect the left fielder to throw the base runner out on that play, but the situation of the game, third base coach sends you got to go. I'm nailed out at home by a mile. I'm going to the dugout, and I hear the tough guy with all the hoorah. So I'll never start anything, but I'll be prepared to finish it. There's a reason why I do all kinds of fighting in the off season, because I'm prepared to fuck somebody up. So you can take it as what it is.
All right, and then he walked off.
Yeah.
Tommy Pham is something wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
He is. I'll tell you, he's a character. He was totally wrong on that play, though. Although, did you catch him throwing his third base coach under the bus?
Yeah, totally.
It was all, you would expect the runner to get thrown out on a play like that. Yeah, but Tommy Pham, he is an interesting fella.
He was controversial here.
Yeah.
And it was one of and he had that one, what year was it, 2017 or something, where he was just phenomenal for the Cardinals in the last half of the season. But yeah, his personality is a little rough.
It's something. I know he's been through a lot growing up. He had a hard childhood. Okay, I get that. But if you saw the play yesterday, so the catcher was inside the baseline, sort of toward the pitcher, absolutely giving up all of the plate so Pham could come by and,
Right.
he's giving you an avenue to the plate. And Pham was like 3 feet inside the baseline, barreling down on him. He was going for the catcher. So he was trying to start it.
Oh, there's no question.
He was
about it.
absolutely trying to start something.
Speaking of William Contreras, what a season this guy's had.
Right?
Wow.
Wilson's brother.
Yeah.
Would like to get Wilson Contreras back because he was one of the Cardinals' best hitters before he went to. That's right. He was the best hitter. We have James Taylor tickets that we are going to give away today before the show is over, and you have to be listening for your opportunity to win. We will tell you when that time is. Just keep listening to this show. James Taylor at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on Thursday. And we got a pair of tickets to give away today, and we'll give away some for the next couple of days as well. We will be talking to Les Sturman, who is in charge of Citizens for a Greater Downtown St. Louis. We'll talk to him. He's coming in studio in a moment on KMOX.
If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You'd just ask, should I sell while my home's value is sky high, or wait and hope the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball. With Truehold's Sell and Stay program, you can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get an offer now while your home's value is sky high, and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's current best value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Truehold.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
If you have a problem with the IRS, believe me, it's not going away on its own. The IRS never gives up. They have endless resources, so they control the game. Well, your tax problems can end. I'm attorney Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm, a local tax resolution firm with an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. I've handled thousands of IRS cases over the last 15 years. So when you hire me, you won't be speaking long distance or sending money to some TV pitchman that's riddled with consumer complaints. Your first visit is completely free and confidential, and I'll tell you on the spot exactly how much it will cost. So call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com. If you have IRS issues, you need a local attorney, you need me, Lance Drury.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we've got sun, 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour, jury selection is underway in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial in Delaware. CBS News correspondent Scott McFarland is outside the courthouse in Wilmington and says this is a case about statements or false statements.
What did Hunter Biden say or check with his pen when he filled out an application in October 2018 to buy a firearm? According to the Department of Justice, he made false statements when he did not acknowledge he was a user or addict of drugs when he bought the gun, a required question on the paperwork. They've also charged him with a third felony for unlawfully possessing the gun. while an addict or user of drugs.
Hunter Biden could face a prison sentence of up to 25 years if found guilty. Dr. Anthony Fauci is offering his first congressional testimony in nearly 2 years on the coronavirus pandemic.
House Republicans are questioning Dr. Fauci about the effectiveness of the vaccine.
Did the COVID vaccine stop transmission of the virus?
He said in the beginning, yes.
Was felt that, in fact, it did prevent infection and thus transmission, but that was proven as time went by to not be a durable effect.
2 other highly contentious hearings recently raised questions over the level of oversight and conduct that went on in his agency during the pandemic. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
If former President Trump goes to jail, what does that mean for America? A Missouri attorney on his legal team weighs in.
It's truly banana republic stuff. It's totally un-American.
Attorney Will Scharf tells KFTK the former president's hush money trial and the impending sentencing reminds him of the fall of Rome.
And you see similar types of lawfare. You see the weaponization of courts. You see the weaponization of legal processes by political factions to oppress their opponents. And that's what we're living through here.
Scharf says the team will be appealing the 34 guilty counts after sentencing on July 11th.
We are in a little bit of limbo right now. We have to wait for this judgment to be finalized before we can challenge it on appeal.
Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
A surprising shakeup at one of the country's top newspapers.
Washington Post executive editor Sally Busby, the first woman to lead the Post's newsroom, has resigned. She'd only been on the job since 2021, when she was hired away from her role as executive editor of the Associated Press, where she'd spent her entire career. During Busby's 3 years at the Post, the newspaper's audience declined and a number of top reporters left, but she added dozens of editors, and the paper won 6 Pulitzer Prizes, 3 of them this year. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
The KMOX Business Desk, a blip on the radar for gas prices in the St. Louis area.
The average price for a gallon of unleaded actually rose nearly a nickel over the past week to $3.37. But Gas Buddy analyst Patrick DeHaan says to expect gas prices generally to fall as we head towards July 4th. The national average at its lowest point since March, $3.50 per gallon. DeHaan says demand has plummeted after Memorial Day and refineries are cranking up production. The St. Louis average is nearly 13 cents lower than a month ago. DeHaan says the one thing that could halt the national price decline is any effect from hurricane season. Brad Choate, KMOX News.
The Dow from Stifel down 404 points to 38,281.
This afternoon will be rather breezy, hot, and humid with times of sun and clouds. Also a gusty thunderstorm in places. They can produce flash flooding, hail, and localized damaging wind gusts, the high near 90. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm, Sun 84, Florissant, and St. Peter's and 84 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Where opinions collide, laughter resonates, and the unexpected is always invited. The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Well, if you really want to hear the blues, come on the whole side new.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX, and no Amy today. She'll be back tomorrow. So John Hancock is here with us.
Here I am.
We are joined in studio now by Les Sturman with Citizens for a Greater Downtown St. Louis. We've talked to Les a number of times on this show about what's happening in the city, in particular what's happening downtown. And there have been, over the last couple of weeks, Les, a little more crime than you'd like to see here. And you put out a statement earlier today addressing some of that, and you're calling for more action from the city. What do you want to see them do?
Well, thanks for having me, Chris. It's always great to discuss downtown, both good and bad. Over the last couple of weeks, there have been 6 shootings, at least 3 deaths, 10 or more shooting injuries. So it's been a rough couple of weeks downtown. And this is ongoing. It picks up when the weather gets warm. And in the past, the response has been to call a press conference, announce some sort of initiative, make some promises. And that typically fades away after a period of time. So we're kind of used to that. And, what we think needs to happen is people need to come together. And, residents like me and the kind of folks that I deal with are typically ignored in all of this. It's typically the city and greater St. Louis and the big businesses downtown. And, we think we have a lot to offer in putting together a kind of collaborative safety plan for downtown. And in fact, we've done that. We've produced a 5-point plan together with 2 other groups a couple of years ago, and it's been ignored by the city. I think too often we make the cops own this problem. And I mean, this is really a larger failure of governance. And we think we need to deal with the whole picture, whether it's problem properties that attract people that commit these acts downtown, or liquor licensing, or dealing effectively with the homeless population, et cetera. All of these things contribute to the problems that we have.
Are our institutions, the city government, you mentioned Greater St. Louis, are they even acknowledging that this problem exists, or are they kind of cheerleading their way through it?
I think at some level they acknowledge it. What they have failed to do is bring people together for a real action plan that's sustainable over time. And that's, I think, the failure that's at work here. But, frankly, there is a lot of denial. You call a press conference, you announce a new slogan, everything is going to be fine. And it is until the next bad weekend.
So you've got, as you said, you think you've got a plan that, in conjunction with some business leaders downtown, what is that plan?
We call it a 5-point plan. It was a plan that was developed by 3 groups, the Downtown Neighborhood Association, the Downtown Economic Council, which is primarily made up of businesses, and our group. And it basically deals with all of what we would call sort of the root causes of the downtown issue. Problem properties, traffic enforcement. We all know that's a huge problem downtown. Parking lots, large unsecured parking lots where people gather and create problems. All of these things are addressed in this plan. It's not perfect. I mean, it's a starting point for discussion, but we're not having that discussion.
You chose to move downtown. One of the things, at least in my estimation, that has negatively affected is that people aren't moving here in any kind of significant numbers. And it would seem that if the population were greater, if the foot traffic on the streets were greater, that perhaps the crime would be lesser. And how do you get people to move downtown?
Yeah, that's a great question, John. It's sort of the fundamental question. We moved downtown 19 years ago because, downtown was, at that point, was growing. It was kind of a hip place, exciting. And we've seen a lot of changes over those 19 years.
I'll bet.
I think part of the problem is most of the efforts that are taking place are geared towards, or not geared towards residents. In fact, the residential population really is the only growing economic sector downtown, perhaps other than professional sports or conventions. And we're routinely ignored. And the way you get more people to move downtown is dealing with these quality of life issues. Downtown needs to be clean. It needs to be safe. It needs to be inviting. We have a lot of amenities downtown, but, many people you talk to are afraid to use them.
So that's really my overall, when we talk about this issue, generally speaking, what I argue is, in order for there to be less crime, there have to be more people. And the counter argument is, well, in order for there to be more people, there needs to be less crime. So something has to happen first. And I would say that when there are people in the city, less things happen, less crime happens, less violent crime happens. It's a lot easier to commit crime when you don't feel like anybody's around to see you do it. So there is safety in numbers. So how do you get to the numbers first? How do you get to have all these people come downtown or live down here without actually fixing the crime issue first, which I'm not even sure that you could do first? So maybe we might have a disagreement on the order of things and what has to happen first. I think there need to be more people down here in order to fix that.
No, you're absolutely right. I don't disagree at all. I mean, I think it's a kind of a chicken and egg proposition. I do think you have to address crime head on first, because these bad headlines that come out of downtown seemingly every few weeks really discourage people from moving down here. So you've really got to address that and convince people that you're serious about addressing it. You know, when they come to a ball game downtown and people are flying through red lights and and doing all sorts of other things like that, I mean, it creates a bad impression. Yeah, when downtown is filled with people for a ball game or a convention, yeah, it's totally safe because there are lots of people around. But that's what matters is what happens at night and when people aren't around.
Is the sense of law enforcement that we have, is it being driven by gang violence? Is it being driven by kind of random acts? Is it the homeless population, or all of these things all driving these crime numbers?
Well, I'm not a criminologist, so I really couldn't hazard a guess. But there is a lot of drugs involved. The homeless have certainly been involved in a number of incidents downtown. There are bars and clubs that contribute to problems. It's kind of all of the above.
And so is there a reluctance from the city to want to address those places? You mentioned the parking lots, the liquor licenses for some of these establishments. Do they just not want to do it? Is there a reason maybe the law prevents them from doing it easily? What exactly is it?
It's a combination of things. In a lot of cases, we have the laws in place, but they're not enforced. Liquor licensing, the excise department in the city, candidly, is notably inadequate. They just don't enforce the law. I mean, yeah, we have laws that prevent people from flying through red lights, but they do it anyway because there's nobody around and to enforce the law. There has to be a willingness to enforce the laws that we have, and a lot of that depends on competence of city authorities and the will to do it.
So there was just a story, if I'm not mistaken, last year about the excise department being understaffed and having difficulty even granting liquor licenses for businesses that want to open in the city. So there's a backlog there. Is that also the department that is charged with enforcing businesses that aren't abiding by the rules? Is that really part of the problem, is that they're just understaffed?
Yeah, that's a big part of the problem, that they are understaffed. In fact, the Board of Aldermen actually gave them some more money for additional staff, and they haven't hired anybody. And yeah, that's a big part of the problem. They liquor licensing is something that's a great concern in the city. Many of the bars and restaurants are located in residential buildings in the city, unlike in the suburbs. And so it's harder to get a liquor license here. You have to get permission of your neighbors within a certain radius. And people complain about that. So what did the Board of Aldermen do in the last session? They actually made it easier to get a liquor license, which is, we fought against, and that's a problem. And yet we don't have an excise department that can actually enforce the laws that we have. I mean, they're saying, well, this new law makes it easier to take a license away, but who's going to do it? You probably all remember the problem we had with the Rain nightclub, which was right in my backyard. It took almost 2 years for us to complain and be the squeaky wheel that got that shut down. And they did untold damage during that period of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you mentioned the lack of, they've got budget authorization to hire people for the excise department. I'm sure they've got budget authorization to hire police officers. Is the problem that nobody wants these jobs, or is the problem that they're just not hiring?
Yeah, I'm not sure I can address that. back before I was retired, I was in a leadership position. And, if you have the will to do it and the kind of passion to do it, you can get it done. And I'm just not seeing that at a city government. And I'm not talking about the mayor necessarily, but I'm talking all through, city departments.
So what would you encourage people who either live downtown or have an interest in downtown? And I think that this entire region, whether you live in the city limits or you live in Chesterfield, you should care about what happens down here because it affects the entire region. So for people who are interested, what sort of action do they need to take?
Well, I mean, first of all, if you're a downtown resident, you need to get involved in any number of organizations that are trying to make a difference, whether it's Citizens for a Greater Downtown or the Downtown Neighborhood Association, or if you're a business, there are other organizations to be involved in. So, being involved is the most important thing. I mean, everybody, people like you call me all the time, but there need to be 1,000 of us that are speaking out, and that'll get action from the political folks if we do that. Of course, people need to vote as well. This idea that we can't have a great region without a great downtown, which used to be sort of the commonly accepted belief.
Yeah.
I'm hearing from people who just don't believe that anymore.
That's too bad.
Of course, you got Clayton and you got St. Charles, and people are creating faux downtowns in Creve Coeur and Chesterfield. I think, unfortunately, in my view, thinking is changing about that, and I think that's to the detriment of downtown St. Louis.
I don't think there's any question about that. But nationally, people know about St. Louis. They don't know what Clayton is.
That's right.
We need to have a strong downtown. It doesn't matter how nice Clayton, Missouri is or Chesterfield, but if we don't have a strong downtown, it holds us back as a region. Les Sturman, Citizens for a Greater Downtown St. Louis. Appreciate you coming in.
Happy to be here.
It's John Hancock and Chris Ranji on KMOX.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
New and reimagined, the 1904 World's Fair exhibit at the Missouri History Museum features a close-up look at the attractions and grounds and a more complete picture of this important moment in St. Louis history. Info at mohistory.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
Hey, it's Bo for Reinhold Electric. I'm going to give you their number to put in
in your contacts in your phone so you have them when an emergency breaks out. Storms that hit South County on a Sunday this past month, Reinhold Electric took over 50 calls and were able to respond within 24 hours to all of them. So if you have down power lines, flickering lights, things like that, call on Reinhold Electric. And for all planned electrical needs, contact Reinhold Electric. The number 314-631-1158 and ReinholdElectric.com.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman for the Bath Authority. Call today, 314-347-0410, and get free installation on your new shower or bath, plus 36 months interest-free financing.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Cardinal Cowboy here for Renner Garage Door, serving St. Louis and surrounding areas since 1966. We does all applications of garage door and LiftMaster openers. RENNER, forward and back. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, the garage door company that does. Giddy up!
Conversations that hit close to home, from schools to your pocketbook. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Let's run it back. For a limited time, go back in time with Chris and Amy.
An eventful show today. No Amy Marks Kors. She is back tomorrow, but John Hancock has been with me today. Before we get to the substance, the stuff, we got something to give away, John.
James Taylor ticket.
That's right. And we are looking for caller number 6 to the contest line at 314-955-1120, and you'll win a pair of tickets to see James Taylor at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on Thursday.
Carolina in my mind.
So best of luck. Caller 6, 314-955-1120, and you'll go see him. Then we'll give away tickets tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, the day of the show. So good luck.
It'll be a great show. I saw him years ago at the amphitheater out at Riverport, whatever we call it now. But
Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
That's the one.
That's the place.
And it's a really good show, and it's so many massive hits. You know, one after another. Folks will enjoy that.
You'll have a really nice time at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater if you get to go. Let's see. We talked to Tracy McCreary, who is a state senator here in Missouri, a Democrat who has been really pushing this cyber stalking bill, hoping the governor signs it. What is the purpose of it?
It does exist, but I think that just like a lot of things, our state laws and federal laws haven't kept up with the ever-changing technology. So when I talk to first responders and law enforcement, they're really excited about this task force getting together, because what it will do is it will bring together experts that know about the ever-evolving nature of technology. So we're going to bring people together that actually know what they're doing. But yeah, there are tools out there. And, you know, the thing about cyber stalking is it doesn't know any jurisdiction. I mean, is the person stalking you in Russia? Are they in Illinois? We don't know. And so these are things that we need to work on and understand.
Yeah, that's a really big problem in the country. It does affect not just women. It affects men. It affects boys. It affects young girls. This is really, there's no boundary here. People who have been stalked, victims of cyber stalking, it could be anybody.
Yeah, and often it's anonymous. People don't know who's stalking them, and it could be, I would imagine, very scary to be stalked in that fashion.
No question. And to not know who it is, that's really, really scary. So it has been passed through the legislature. It's just about Governor Parsons signing it or not. The Battlehawks, your St. Louis Battlehawks are...
baby, cacaw.
Right?
Yes.
They are going to the playoffs. We knew that. We've known for a couple of weeks, but they have clinched home field advantage. We had Darius Shepard, a receiver, join us.
It's a special environment that they've created with the fans there. You know, we get off the bus for game day, and they're lined up outside to greet us, and we have that really cool walk experience, which for a lot of guys, you know, they haven't necessarily been to the biggest stage that where they've walked through NFL stadiums and been in front of 80,000 plus, you know, so getting to play in front of 40, 50,000 people is an incredible thing. And, you know, we're excited to experience it again this weekend.
Need to pack that building Sunday night, 6 o'clock. The tickets are available. They're on sale now. theufl.com/tickets. So let's go see the Battlehawks play, man.
That's going to be, and, you know, I was supposed to go to a game their first season, and then COVID hit. So I bought the tickets, and that didn't work. And I've not been able to see one the last couple of seasons. And I'm going to be out of town for this game. But from all accounts, it's just an incredible experience for folks.
It is a lot of fun. People are having a very good time. And it does make you miss football being downtown St. Louis. Also, Matt Pauley, who is our sports fella, joined us after the Cardinals beat the Phillies yesterday.
That was a good win yesterday. You know, I thought when they took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati, what that really did was it gave them kind of the leeway to not have to win the series against Philadelphia, because the Phillies they're the best team in baseball. 41 wins. They've scored over 300 runs. They've got one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. So you salvage a game there. I don't think losing 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia is the worst thing in the world. I know there's some people who don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. They're that good. Now we'll see what happens in Houston. If you win 2 out of 3, you have a winning road trip. If you lose 2 out of 3, it's not great, but you go 4 and 5 on a really tough road trip. That's not an end of the world sort of thing. So winning that game yesterday was key.
It goes on tonight, 6:15 pregame show, 7:10 first pitch. Matt Pauley will have the pregame as the Cardinals are in Houston. Kyle Gibson and Justin Verlander is the pitching matchup for tonight. You can listen on your Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download it and listen to this show live, too. You can also go back and get the podcast if there's anything you missed. We also had the conversation with Les Sturman about helping to improve downtown St. Louis. So, again, AUDACY. Download the Odyssey app for free. City SC with a tie over the weekend, a draw against Miami. And that's the team with Leo Messi. Dale Schilly is a soccer analyst on Y98. He'll be joining us when we come back. Talk about what happened over the weekend. It's the Chris and Amy Show, this time with John Hancock on KMOX.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Summertime is the best time to enjoy the outdoors and enhance the appearance of your home. Banner Construction can make your home the showplace of the neighborhood with maintenance-free James Hardy siding and beautiful Pella replacement windows. Drive up to your home with a renewed pride. Visit bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050. Get a free in-home design and estimate. Call 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. 314-569-1050.
At 12:30, sun and 85 downtown at the Arch. Prospective jurors in the federal firearms case against Hunter Biden are being questioned on their thoughts about gun rights and addiction. The president's son has been charged with lying on federal gun purchase forms when he said he wasn't a drug addict. Palestinian health officials say Israeli strikes have killed 11 people, including a woman and 3 children in central Gaza. Fire crews in California are battling the state's largest wildfire so far this year. The Corral Fire erupted Saturday about 60 miles east of San Francisco. CBS News correspondent Ben Tracy says the fire is about 75% contained.
They feel like they really do have this under control. When you get to 75% containment, they're basically just looking for hot spots here and there, but that means the majority of the fire is out.
Nolan Gorman homers and drives in 3, including the game winner in the 10th inning. As the Cards overcome 3 errors, they win it 5-4 over the Phillies Sunday night in Philadelphia. Cardinals will go to Houston for a 7-10 game tonight. Pre-game show begins at 6:15. Our Redbird Report is sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Win big with a pool or spa at AlohaPoolsUSA.com. I'm Joe Pott, KMOX Sports.
We've got road work on 270 north at Gravois. The center 2 lanes are closed. They've cleared a crash on 70 east at Cave Springs Truman. And road work on 55 north at Weber Road. That's got the right lane closed. Weather sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. This afternoon's high 90, low tonight 72 with a thunderstorm. For tomorrow, more clouds than sun, high 83. Right now, 85 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The KMOX studios powered by Onder Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com.
That's GetJim.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
One of my favorite things to do every single summer is to go to the Muni with my mom. It is just the best time. What a fun evening out. And guess what? Single performance tickets for the Muni's 106th season, they're on sale now. The lineup that they have for you is so massive. Wait until you see the Broadway hits. There's some Muni premieres this summer. Buy tickets for individual shows or, hey, see all 7 for as little as $126. Learn more at muni.org or visit the Muni box office in Forest Park.
From American legend Philip Glass comes a rarely seen opera about the life of one of history's most famous scientists. Galileo Galilei takes the stage at Opera Theater of St. Louis, playing June 15th through June 29th. Galileo was a man of deep faith, but when his scientific theories contradicted church doctrine, he faced the impossible choice of recanting his beliefs or losing everything he loved. Learn more and buy tickets at experienceopera.org.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old opener, too. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Convenient, free in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores because life is too short for boring radio. Let the excitement begin.
Air Pompeu skips a ball, top of the box. Yes! He fires and he scores! Oh, Chris Durkin! City leads!
City SC in Miami against Inter Miami and Lionel Messi. That was over the weekend. They earned a 3-3 draw. Joining us to talk about that game and where City stands right now. On the Quiver River Electric guest line is radio analyst for City SC on Y98. You can hear the broadcast there on our sister station. Dale Schilly joins us this afternoon on KMOX. Hello, Dale.
Hello, guys. How are you?
We're doing okay. So that we were looking forward to that game going into it because of the spectacle that is Messi and how important he has been for MLS. And City finally got the opportunity. They just missed him last year because he didn't start until a week later after the two teams played at City Park. So now, after having the opportunity to witness all of that, what are your thoughts?
Well, you said the right word. Spectacle is absolutely the right word. It's, I've never been to a soccer game with as many photographers, as much security everywhere, outside the stadium, inside the stadium, underneath the stadium, in the locker room areas, in the tunnels. It's incredible. But yeah, and from a soccer perspective, just to see him play and see Suarez play and Busquets and Alba, it's impressive.
So were you at all prepared for that sort of, everything that goes around it, everything on the, outside of the game itself?
No, not at all. And here's something that was even more interesting, or as interesting, is in the hotel, there were probably a dozen to 20 security guards, police officers, armed, not armed, dressed and in uniform or undercover. And that was, I was thinking, boy, when we've never garnered so much respect that we have this much security around us. Well, Messi and the Argentinian national team were going to be staying there at the hotel the next day. And so they were, looking at scouting out the hotel and doing their pre-con work before the team came in. So was I prepared for it? No, not at all. It was amazing to see how many people it took, what the entourage was like, just to give him the protection and the group the protection that they need.
I wasn't able to catch the game, unfortunately. A 3-3 draw. City is certainly, they're kind of in the middle of the bunch. I think they're just outside of the playoff spot right now. Yeah. How's the team looking?
Coming back, I think we went through a little bit of a doldrum, a little low point 6 weeks or so ago. Started to get our groove back, stubbed our toe a little bit against Cincinnati, not in terms of results, more in terms of performances. And we've been getting better and better. We had a good performance against LAFC. Then we struggled against Cincinnati, a good performance against Seattle, and then a really good performance against Miami the other night. I don't think anybody gave us a chance to walk out of there with a point, but we certainly did it. We earned it. We could have had 3. I feel like the guys are on the upswing.
Yeah, so that is so far it's been a much different season than what we saw last year, and I don't think any of us really expected that it was going to go at the beginning of the year exactly like it did for them. They got off to an historic start as far as MLS goes. But if you look at the team now compared to where they were about the same time last year, what do you see differently?
Well, it's going to be a strange answer, but I feel like that we're better than we were a year ago. Feel like that teams are a little bit more prepared for us. We're not catching them by surprise. And so I think they're more prepared, but I think we're better. We're better with the ball. We're better at creating chances. We're better not giving easy chances away. We just haven't had the opportunities. We haven't scored the goals like we did. The ball hasn't bounced quite the same way. If you remember last year, we were gifted 3 or 4 goals where teams were playing the ball to the wrong guy at the wrong time with the wrong uniform. And those things happened, and we caught those breaks and we made the most of them. This year, those moments haven't happened for us, but I'm telling you, we're really close to being able to get over the hump and turning this thing around.
Well, and the chances of the City making the playoffs are, they've still got a really good chance here.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a lot of season left to play.
Yeah, and the league is tight. The league was built for parity. So you're 1 or 2 wins away from jumping over teams and getting into the playoffs and above the playoff line. And look, the next 2 games are against teams that are in the same vicinity as we are. Portland just ahead of us, Dallas just behind us. So a couple of results in these next 2 games, and we'll be well above the playoff line.
Talking to Dale Schilly here on KMOX, the City SC moves toward a game coming up this weekend. And before we get to that game, I wanted to ask you about the addition, which will soon happen. It can't happen just yet, but Cedric Teukert's the player coming over from the Bundesliga, from the second division in the Bundesliga. What are your thoughts on him and how he will fit into what City is trying to do?
Yeah, I think it's a great move. You know, when Nico Gialchini was in the team last year, having that third central attacking type player gave us a rotation of players, made for a competitive environment for that particular role. When Nico moved on and moved to Como over in Italy, that meant just Sam and Klaus were battling it out for the 1 spot or 2 spots. I think just to keep that competitive edge, having a third person there, and Teukert's a proven goal scorer, a proven goal creator. So having one other person that we can rely on in the 18-yard box to help finish chances is important. And I think that he'll help us as we get through this, the second half of the season. The thing is, we want to be above the playoff line at that point. We want him to help us place ourselves in the playoffs, help us in the playoff run, not just help us get into the playoff.
Speaking of the playoff run, Portland is 3 points ahead of where St. Louis is on the table right now. That's who's in town this Saturday. They will play a 7:30 game at City Park. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, it's a good one. Evander is a Brazilian attacking midfield player, an attacking player, big, strong guy, really good feet, can score goals, is very good in the front half of the field. They've been up and down this year. Coach Phil Neville it's interesting because he's obviously played for England, played for Man United, coached Inter Miami, but he has an all-Latin team, almost exclusively a South American group of players. So an interesting mix of how the continent would play soccer in Europe versus, the South American style. So it's an interesting mix, but talented group, been able to get on a little bit of a run here lately. And for us, being able to see Mora, Rodriguez, Evander, are 3 very good attacking players, will be good for the fans to watch.
Looking forward to the game on Saturday, Dale. Thank you for being with us. People can listen in. The kick will be at 7:30. The game gets started. You can listen to it on Y98 and the free Odyssey app. Dale Schilly, thanks for your time today. Hancock with me. I'm Chris Ranji. Congratulations to Sue in Imperial.
Way to go, Sue.
Gonna go see James Taylor Thursday at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't worry, you'll have a chance to win tickets tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that, right here on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
If you have a problem with the IRS, believe me, it's not going away on its own. The IRS never gives up. They have endless resources, so they control the game. Well, your tax problems can end. I'm attorney Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm, a local tax resolution firm with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. I've handled thousands of IRS cases over the last 15 years. So when you hire me, you won't be speaking long distance or sending money to some TV pitchman that's riddled with consumer complaints. Your first visit is completely free and confidential, and I'll tell you on the spot exactly how much it will cost. So call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com. If you have IRS issues, you need a local attorney, you need me, Lance Drury.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
What do Donna Vogt, Janet Williams, Susan Honor, and Jonathan Erst have in common? They're just some of the best fans in baseball and winners of a pair of tickets to an upcoming game at $100 to Rawlings. Want to get in on the winning? To get entered, head to KMOX.com/contests and upload a photo of you decked out in your game day attire. The best fans in baseball, presented by KMOX and Rawlings, the mark of a pro.
A goal without a plan is just a wish. To get started on your retirement income plan, call Sachs Financial today and live your best life now and in retirement. Sachs Financial, the home of the retirement compensation plan at retiresafestl.com.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
So you're thinking, great boat, 60 grand, but hey, we can have fun on the water. She's thinking, what, 3, maybe 4 months a year if we're lucky? You're thinking tow ropes and wakeboards. She's thinking granite countertops and undermount sinks. You're back to thinking about summers. But she's thinking about all year, every day, rain or shine. And she's also thinking 3 days and about half the cost. That's right, 3 days and half the cost. Your kitchen or bath can have a completely new look in just 3 days or less. Guaranteed. Top quality products and craftsmanship, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And you and your family will enjoy it all year, day in and day out, with no tow ropes needed. Now, what are you thinking? Find out more about how your kitchen or bath can be the kitchen or bath of your dreams in just 3 days. Just visit 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota and Newbold BMW. I am so confident that my team will take care of every one of your service and sales needs. I'll give you my cell phone, 618-791-5470. Newbold Toyota or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
I see clearly now, thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry. You can too. Go to youridoc.com.
Transforming airwaves into an engaging playground of ideas and entertainment. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Is this actually you?
No, I don't think so. No, I play this. So this is a Maple Leaf Rag, the first million seller in American music history.
Is that right?
It is. Written by Scott Joplin, Sedalia, Missouri, published by Stark Music Company in Sedalia in 1899. The John Stark Printing Company moved to St. Louis and was in business until about 15 years ago.
See,
as a commercial printing company.
When I watch those I don't call them documentaries because they're not really quite that, but videos about the history of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And they show you photos and footage or whatever. This is invariably the music playing in the background.
Yeah.
This is what
Joshua
Rifkin.
Oh, Joshua Rifkin. Yeah. Well, in Rifkin, his recordings were #1 on the classical music chart. And this was before the Sting came out. And he really had a major role in the ragtime revival of the 1970s. But this is great music, isn't it?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, this is way out of my demo, but
yeah,
I like it.
Good stuff, man.
It's way out of Pajeski's demo.
I play this piece a little faster than this.
Do you?
Yeah.
There's no tempo rule for it?
Well, Joplin always thought people played his music too fast, but there you go.
Hey, I want to ask you about
Yes.
About this. Maryland Senate candidate Larry Hogan,
Former governor.
He is a Republican. He's running for the Senate, as I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Has been taking a lot of heat from people in Trump world for his tweets prior to the verdict coming out last week. And basically, the first tweet was, whatever you think of this, we should just take the result of it and respect the verdict and the legal process, which I think is a pretty innocuous comment. But he has taken a considerable amount of criticism. In fact, one Trump campaign person said that he has ended his political career.
Yeah, Chris LaCivita, the campaign manager for Donald Trump.
Okay, so I get it. I understand that Trump is their guy, right? He's going to be the nominee. He is the nominee. I don't understand the vitriol over what really are, I think, totally innocuous comments. I mean, all a person is saying is, let's trust our legal process that we've all agreed on as a country, how we should be. Why is that a thing now?
Well,
that should end your political career.
Everything in the era of Donald Trump is a litmus test. And Larry Hogan does not pass that litmus test by agreeing like a sycophant to everything that Trump says and believes. Larry Hogan doesn't believe the election was stolen in 2020. He doesn't believe Donald Trump should be president of the United States. And so the Trump world takes offense at that. And now, here's another thing that's just different now in politics. It used to be, Maryland's a liberal state. Larry Hogan somehow managed to remember the last time a Republican was governor of Maryland 2 terms in a row. So he's got something that resonates with those voters there. And it used to be that we would go find candidates who fit their districts, fit their states. And, this is a case where you've got a Republican candidate. If there's anybody that might be able to win that Senate seat, it's Larry Hogan. And as a party, we used to embrace those candidates. And because if you're going to run a candidate that's pure on every issue you think about in a place like Maryland, they have no chance of winning. And we used to recruit and support and defend our Republicans that were running in some of these, blue or purple areas. And that's not the case anymore. If you want to run as a Republican and win a primary, you pretty much have to be Donald Trump.
What's the fix for that?
I don't know. Because, you've got the Trump sycophancy going on, but you've also got the party has just changed. It's no longer a conservative political party, conservative political movement. It's a populist movement now. And so, that's not going to change post-Trump, I don't think. I think the Republican Party is, for the foreseeable future, going to be a populist and nationalistic entity. The Trump stuff, like we've got candidates running in primaries right now, and they get asked in a debate, do you believe the 2020 election was stolen? And they say yes. Well, they don't believe the 2020 election was, and it doesn't do any good for the country to perpetrate the lie that our elections are out there fraudulently being conducted. That's straight out of Moscow. That kind of sentiment that elections are stolen in America, that our judicial system is corrupt, that our intelligence and FBI communities are corrupt. That's straight out of Moscow. That's what they want us to believe.
And they've worked, I think,
very well,
pretty hard. Well, because they when you say they won it, I think they've also had a hand in it to an extent. We know that the Russians have tried to meddle with what we do
all of
here,
our enemies,
and they still are.
All of our enemies meddle in our elections, and we meddle in theirs.
Of course,
the Voice of America for years
is your statecraft.
And so that's going to happen. But we shouldn't accept their view of the world as ours.
So it just, I don't know, when we were having the conversation with Senator McCreary about the idea of compromise. I think this goes along with that there are just, unfortunately now, not just members of Congress, but the general public who get angry when one side works with the other to get something accomplished. And when it used to be that it was overwhelmingly the truth that we all want compromise and we all understand we're not going to get every single thing we want. You know, I know that we're not going to get everything, that I'm not going to get everything I want, but I live with that. And that's okay, because it shouldn't be that I get every single thing that I want, nor should it be that somebody who sees things differently from me politically gets everything they want. So why are so many people just unwilling to understand that compromise is good?
Because they're perfectly willing for government to produce nothing. And and I think we've gotten to a place. You just look at the sheer volume of legislation that passes, whether it's a state government or the Congress of the United States. The amount of legislation that passes anymore is much less than it used to be, because a lot of people in those institutions aren't there to pass legislation. They're there for a host of reasons, not the least of which is to become a celebrity. So, it's just things are different.
Well, maybe one day we'll solve it, you and me.
Yeah, we'll get on it there, Ron.
John Hancock, thanks for hanging out with me
bet,
today.
My friend.
Amy Marks Kors will be back tomorrow. Again, anything you missed on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, download it, baby. And you can listen to the entire show if you want to, or any of the great interviews we had. We will see you tomorrow. How about that? 10 o'clock. Amy Marks Kors back with me, Chris Ranji. The Glover Show is next on KMOX.
He looks up and he says, "Aren't you John Hancock?" To which I replied, "Yeah, I get that all the time."
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works